Anyways, here's the intro music. I forgot to put the overlay on that. Oh well, we're sponsored by Tour Gear Designs and Chase Bliss Audio this week, but you'll see the cards for that later. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
That's absolutely true. You want to jump into our first ad?
Yes.
This was sent to us by Michael Kraus. He put it on the Facebook group. We're only going to do 2 ads this episode, and we're going to do an extra topic. But I saw this thing and immediately was like, I don't remember doing that.
This is a Fender Flying V.
It sure is.
Did you read the copy on this?
I think I grazed it. Because it's from Goodwill, and they don't have copy from the original owner. They have copy from Goodwill, and it says customer has written stating that Fender did not make a Flying V.
Yeah. Oh, so okay, now I understand. I was thinking that this was like a weird. I didn't realize this was Goodwill. I thought this was eBay. So they're saying that somebody wrote to Goodwill, like a customer, not necessarily an actual customer. I was thinking, like, if you're an eBay customer, you could be a buyer or a seller.
Sure.
So I thought maybe this was a consignment. I wasn't thinking of this as being a Goodwill thing. Yeah, that's pretty hilarious that this is being sold as a
as a Fender Flying V.
Yeah, as a Fender Flying V. This is
mine's right behind me, a Fender Flying V.
This is an odd serial too. This is the made in Korea Squire series. So that's kind of a unique thing. It's got those super cheapy tuners on it.
Yeah.
But I was
trying to place this body. I know I've seen this exact body before somewhere with that odd cut pick guard and the hard cut for fret access there. It's a Randy Rhoads sort of concept, but it's not made by Jackson or whoever. I almost want to say it's like one of like the offbeat Music Yo Kramers or something like that. But
yeah, my instinct,
and this
has instinct with those rails would be something like Kramer, but
well, Kramer put quad rails and everything in the Music Yo stuff, and that's more like a dime bag rail or whatever.
Yeah, these are the Bill Lawrence style rail.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what they're called, but yeah, I'm just trying to look up V guitars.
Yeah, good luck.
Real quick.
If you recognize this body shape and you're a viewer or a listener, tell us in the comments whether you're here live or you're watching this a decade from now. And I'll just sit here and sip my wine and admire this thing, this beautiful piece.
So they're asking right now this is up to like $177.
I don't know if that's just starting bid. Price minimum bid is 177. So yeah, maybe they started at 0 and that's just the current bid.
I mean, you said this was on Goodwill, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if it's still up.
It comes
auction shopgoodwill.com.
It comes with a bridge and the springs and the hardware and everything. I don't really recognize the bridge as being a true Floyd Rose. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. It is some other kind of concept here.
It's at $202 with 4 days to go. It comes with all the hardware and a hard shell case.
You know about what they say about the hard shell case?
I'm looking closer at this headstock now that I found it, and I think this might be a decal swap.
Really?
I don't know. The Fender logo looks so high.
Who would swap? Oh, you're just saying that's a Squire, not a Fender Squire. But why would they put a small Squire logo on the bulb of the headstock to fake people out? Why would they fake a Korean Squire?
I don't know. I'm just saying that. Then I'm looking at another one and
oddly placed. It does look oddly placed.
I found another one on TDPRI though, and somebody else has it sitting really high. So that's
might just be the way they were done. I mean, the rest of it looks Fender to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's got those cheap Fender tuners from that time period. So,
yeah. Blackest of the Black says that it is a generic V kit off of eBay. I might believe that. That might be exactly what it is.
So what do you think? What do you think?
It makes me think that this is a much older body because I've never seen that bridge before. Also, I think it's a little, obviously that's meant to be a locking style bridge, unless it's not, because I've never seen that bridge before. But to me, it looks like a Floyd Rose style sort of concept. There's no locking nut on this, so it's kind of a funky concept in that. I have trouble believing that anyone should pay over $175 for this.
Over $200 now.
That's crazy.
Over $200.
Does that include shipping?
I don't know, because I don't know how Goodwill
maybe we don't know the right stuff about this body. Maybe that's a really freaking cool body and everyone else knows and we don't.
This is saying shipping is going to be FedEx grounded, and they are estimating $24 to ship it to San Diego from Iowa.
Yeah, that's putting this thing. It's going to end up being like $250 at the current bid. And you said there was a couple of days left. I think this thing's already overpriced. Maybe people are looking at the pickups and they're willing to take, willing to take a gamble on it. Big Ear is here. Grant is here. He says it's definitely an Ibanez body. His old teacher had one. So there you go. It's an Ibanez body.
Oh yeah, I found one. The Ibanez,
we're solving the mystery in real time here.
The Ibanez Proline PR 1600, 1985. That is.
Yeah, that explains that funky bridge.
And those look like to be the original pickups.
Wow.
So now I can't tell. Can't tell if that's the original bridge. The bridge is.
Well, here you go. This exact same color on Reverb right now. $3,000.
Holy smokes! Really?
For the body, not for. I mean, for the complete guitar with the bridge with those pickups. So yeah, people might be looking at this right now and going like, "Well, I can flip that body."
It looks like the. I can't tell if all the bridge parts are there, but that is the original bridge. I mean, this is one of those bridges that's got a bunch of little weird, micro tuners and whatever. So
yeah,
hard to tell what all.
The one on Reverb looks really clean, and it's got that like 80s Japanese pearlescent paint on it that Fender was using in the 80s.
The one I'm looking at on eBay does have a Floyd Rose retainer, but not a locking nut.
I'm pretty sure this one on Reverb has a locking nut. Let me get back to the headstock.
This one says,
"Oh yeah, no locking nut."
This one on eBay says it was owned by Paul Gilbert.
Well, damn. He had it and then he didn't like it, so he got rid of it. That's how good it is. I mean, looking at the price, it seemed like a normal price, like $3,000 for these things. I mean, looking at that, maybe. I mean, my tone has shifted here. Maybe this thing is worth $700, and you take the neck off, you find yourself a real decent Ibanez neck on eBay. You spend maybe $500 on a really decent Ibanez neck, maybe even $1,000, and suddenly you're in the territory because you've got the original hardware, you've got the original bridge. suddenly you're in flip territory. You've invested under $2,000 and you might be able to flip it for 2,500, $3,000. If you can convince people that the neck you put on it is better than the original.
Okay, so the one I found another one on Reverb. That's red. Is that the one you were looking at?
No, I was looking at one that's this exact color.
Okay, the one I'm looking at is red, and on the one on Reverb does have, it's not a locking nut; it's a locking string tree.
Oh, weird.
So it's
like one of those floating locking trees.
Yeah. So kind of. Well, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's floating. It's mounted to the neck, but it's kind of like what the Fender, Contemporary series has.
Interesting.
This is really cool. This is all of a sudden going from like, this is dumb.
Well, it caught my eye. Poo Ninja said, so someone ruined 2 guitars for this.
Well, they ruined one guitar. The other one was a Squier, so who cares?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't one of the fantastic Squiers, but I don't think it's an awful Squier. Those early Korean Fender Squiers.
Yeah, they're okay. They're all right.
They're all right.
Man, learning new things.
This is fun. I like it. This is what I like to do. This is like the old days when we were just like chatting and swapping links all day while we were supposed to be working. Can I do full screen on? Oh, I could if I wanted to. That's wild. Or I could do that. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
see my whole face.
Great. Just what people want to see, your whole face.
Just exploring. Well, I could do this. How about that? So what do you think, Steve? What do you think about my plan to buy this, buy a really nice neck, and then flip it if you want?
I mean, I think the thing is it going to be like the right neck?
I don't think it comes with the bar. It comes with the bridge, but not the bar. But you might be able to find a bar that will work with it.
Yeah. I mean, I found a vintage Ibanez EX electric guitar neck for $125 on eBay. There's definitely plenty of old Ibanez X series necks.
Oh, I'm sure.
On eBay. So, you could definitely do something.
You could do something, says the Steve. All right. Well, what's new, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. My new thing is what everyone's looking at right now. $40 on Amazon.
New camera day.
I actually showed up today. I got home from work. I unboxed it. I plugged it in. I should have unboxed it now and then plugged it in. Waited for the driver. And so I put it all together, and then I go downstairs and I'm like, Melissa, you're going to have to I left it on. I actually was already logged into StreamYard, just letting the camera run so she could see. Cause I was like, how normally the stuff by the piano is like kind of in the dark and out of focus. I was like, that's not the case anymore. It's like everything back there is very much.
You can really see the shoes now. Like I can really tell what shoes you have.
That's all. That's the top half of that is all my shoes.
We're gonna get
there's some white Vans that are mine in there.
We're gonna get our live streaming rigs just really professionally figured out. You've like redone your whole room around it.
Yeah,
and someone's going to come out with a miracle cure for COVID, and we're all just going to go back to normal and be like, well, I guess we don't live stream anymore.
I mean, we could have done it for that for the Gibson thing you did yesterday, but
you were at work though.
I was at work. Yeah, I'm saying like if there was like if we wanted to postpone that.
Oh sure.
My other new thing is apparently I wasn't as awful at guitar as I thought a couple weeks ago, because I got asked to play electric guitar again this week. So either they're really desperate, or I wasn't completely the worst.
You know what? I tuned in for like 2 songs because I get notifications when your church goes live. And I saw you playing acoustic guitar, and I listened to it. I was like, Steve's doing fine. He's holding down the groove.
Yeah, I can play. Like I'm okay on acoustic. It's the electric stuff that makes me nervous. But the set this week is a little more. I actually, when I first got it, I was like, I'm gonna have to haul all this stuff and and then the set list came out, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of excited. Like the set list is So one I feel a little more comfortable with. So
I'm supposed to be playing. I just
go.
agreed to it today. I'm supposed to play this Sunday for an outdoor limited seating social distancing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
They're supposed to max it out at 150 people. They're going to do it in a parking lot and have all the seats super far away from each other. I'm like, I kind of want to do it just to see the spectacle, to see what this is going to be like.
So that's what I don't. So what we're doing is 3 weeks we're going back to 3 weeks of streaming. And then 3 weeks after 3 weeks of streaming, we're gonna do an outdoor service, but I have no idea where, because we don't really have a parking lot that you could do. Like, our parking lot wraps around the building. It's actually a pretty small parking lot. So I have no idea how they're gonna set that up. Yeah, I just have no idea. But I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Our friend's church got on the news because they held services last night.
Ooh.
Like full services.
Yeah.
Freaking shoulder to shoulder. They got the
everyone like breaking off bread and dipping in the same.
I mean, you might as well.
Passing it and just getting their lips all over the communion cup.
And this is I don't know if they're technically a mega church, but they're a young, hip church network.
Okay.
That is pretty well known, I guess. I don't really know
later which friend in which church, because I don't know who you're talking about, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, let's
no
just
say, them. Don't dox them.
I'll just say, like, not name dropping, but I'll just say that it's a friend of ours that's very popular in the praise and worship internet circles.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about. I
guess we have two friends who fit that criteria, but
maybe
the one that is probably closer has been friends with us longer.
Okay. You just we'll figure it out later. I've got a new thing here. Well, I got three new things. Yesterday I filmed an unboxing, and today I published it, of two new Harley Bentons. First, the heaviest. I got the Harley Benton single cut 450 LD, I think is the model number.
Is it like heavy? Like, is it
very heavy? Les Paul heavy. Like it's a brick. But it's not insane for a Les Paul, but it's definitely like exactly what you would expect looking at, a carved top with a maple cap on it, sort of thing. But surprisingly, this is a sub $200 guitar. Surprising amount of flame on the top there. It's got a bit of a shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see that through all my pixels. I
can see it every once in a while. It pops.
I'm really, really impressed with this thing, especially for it being, it's $180 US before shipping, but then you do shipping, you might as well call it, the $250 to $300 guitar, and you got to wait 2 months for them these days, apparently. And then I also got one that I fell in love with at the last TGU, the Sparkly Fusion here. It's got this cool glitter top on it. Roasted maple neck. It's got this real like Ibanez AZ sort of feel to it. This thing even has a little bit of flamey on the fretboard.
Yeah.
But in like a subtle sort of way. It's not opulent and garish or anything like that. I'm a big fan of this thing. And like the other Fusion I had, it has stainless steel frets. It has a Wilkinson bridge instead of a Floyd. But I don't miss the Floyd at all. It's super duper tuning stable. I was dive bombing this thing and didn't have to tune it at all. So I'm pretty stoked. But one of the biggest reasons I got the single cut is that when they put me on the new affiliate program at Thomann, I was able to start seeing what people were buying in my affiliate links. I only covered this once at the first TGU. By a landslide, people are buying this guitar more than anything through my affiliate links. Like they're just buying dozens of these things. And because it's a sub $200 guitar, I don't make very much on the affiliate links for them. But I figured, man, if this thing's so popular, I've got to have one. Like I've got to experience this thing that everyone is getting. obviously is popular, and I can kind of see why now. I can definitely recommend this guitar, despite the fact it has a really ugly headstock, like super duper ugly.
I was looking at the specs on that Fusion, and you know what jumps out to me?
What?
You know what kind of frets it has?
I already told you, stainless steel.
I zoned out when I was looking for it. I wanted to see what the product pictures on that neck look like. That's pretty. A really nice looking neck,
and I think it's oiled. It doesn't feel like it's a poly finish. It's not like a satin poly finish or anything.
Right.
It feels like a gun oil sort of thing. Like it's like really impressive for just under $400. I'm pretty stoked on it.
Yeah, it's like $379. So that is friggin' fantastic.
I don't think it's as good quality wise as an Ibanez AZ. Like it's, I think, a few $100 shy of the quality point of that. But man, if you're curious about an AZ but don't want to do the full dive, I think it's a good taste test. I think it's a really good taste test.
The Fusion that has a flame top Fusion is a veneer.
Yeah,
I guess veneer is not. It's whatever.
Well, remember the other Fusion that I had a veneer and it was flat and ugly.
Yeah.
And also, their other Fusion that sparkled doesn't have the baked maple neck. I think the baked maple neck is the way to go. I think it really makes it, because I tried the other Fusions a year ago at Toman, and it's like, no, that baked maple is what I want. I've also got in front of me something that's probably intimidating me more than it should. It just arrived in the mail today.
Yeah.
Big old Chase Bliss box here from our sponsor.
That just holds like multiple. Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't get my joke out in time.
Nope. First time ever. Steve took too long. Ooh, that's a sex joke. Look at the size of this thing.
That's huge.
It's bigger than my head.
You should just put it in front of your head for the rest of the episode.
Got all them fancy sliders on there.
And he dropped it.
I feel intimidated, not because like it's complex. It's I think Joel said on my Instagram post, like, it's probably our least complex pedal ever from Chase Bliss. That's probably true, but because of just like how imposing it is physically, like this thing commands your attention, and it doesn't look like any other pedal. And it's gonna be certain ranges on this thing that are gonna be pretty subtle with the preamp sort of stuff, but then it boosts into full crazy fuzz. So I could just focus on the fuzz in my demo and not worry about the preamp stuff, because I'm not a subtle, like, let's, detect the notes sort of a reviewer, player, demo, or whatever. But man, I could blast some fuzz on a $700 pedal.
Yeah. There's there are some things on it that are pretty intuitive. I mean, you set things where you want, and if you want fuzz or not, you're just pushing a button.
Yeah, I mean, you
fuzz or not fuzz,
and it's got MIDI control on there too. I could connect a guitar with the Noatronic thing and probably blend in between settings, or control something with the MIDI or whatever if I wanted to get super crazy, or maybe control it with I know you can do MIDI controlling with HX Stomp and stuff like that. Right. I don't know. There's just something about it that just feels so special. I don't feel worthy.
Well, that's because you're not.
I'm not at all.
You're a hack guitarist who needs to take more lessons.
I'm a hack guitarist.
You should spend less time making videos and more time taking lessons, Ryan.
Someone today commented that I need to spend less. I need to stop buying guitars and practice on the ones that I have. And I'm like, yeah.
What you should your next series of, like, you're doing the road case thing. The next one should just be getting sponsors to sponsor a series of video. It's a series of videos of you taking lessons.
So I got this comment today. I took a screen grab of it. I haven't posted it anywhere yet. Boo Boo says, "Stop buying new guitars and learn to play the ones you have." Ugh. And then I replied, "Are you a caveman?" I read that as a caveman grunt. Boo Boo say mana and magic box, no hit music stick good. Learn how better hit music stick, says Boo Boo. His name just worked with, my little joke too, so I'm happy about it. Anything else new? I can't think of anything else new. Can you?
Nope.
That's it. You want to hit the first topic?
I want to hit the first sponsor, but you basically just did it.
Oh, damn. Well, maybe we should do the other sponsor instead.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to Chase Bliss and give him double sponsorship.
I don't know why I'm taking notes on what order we did the sponsor in. Anyway, this week's first sponsor is Tour Gear Designs. They make this tiny little pancakey looking molded soldered guy. It's little.
They're tiny. They're super flexible. And I think that's my favorite thing about them and any patch cable, really. I just love a really soft, flexible cable. That's really where, the versatility comes in for me. I mean, the small heads are nice. I mean, they can butt up next to each other either like that or in staggered sort of situations between pedals. Yeah. They get razor thin. The little kind of, the sleeve, the stem on it, whatever you call that, is actually really short compared to a lot of other patch cables, letting you have plenty of room for that nice flexible cable. It's great. I think these things are really awesome. I've got a 6-pack of them that I've been using in all my Forderboard demos and stuff like that, and various pedal demos, and they've been really convenient. And if I ever need more, I'm probably going to end up ordering more because I actually really like them. So if you want some of these, I don't think I put the link yet in the description for the live people. For the rest of you, click the links down below and order yourself some. Use code 60cyclehum at checkout for 15% off, or is
10% off?
10% off.
Gosh.
Also, there's a bit of an affiliate thing in there for me, a little cutback for me. If you're thinking about
if you do $100 or more, shipping is free.
Free ship. If you're going to rewire your whole board with a patch cable that is small and flexible and convenient, I mean, you're going to spend $100 rewiring a normal pedal board, getting all your patch cables, unless you make your own cables. And then in that case, I don't want to hear from you. You're a snob. You're not a snob. You're a handy person. Still, though, spend a lot of money. Spend money till you're happy.
Oh my gosh. Remember when we said that on an episode and people got all mad?
Did they get mad?
Yeah. Some people were like, oh, we're in the middle of an economic crisis.
I think that's why it was a joke.
I just put the link in the thing, by the way.
You're an angel.
I know.
So I grabbed 2 different topics this week instead of our normal one mixed with an album review. We're still going to have the album review, but I mixed an ad because I was like, these are 2 fun topics and I want to hit them. First one is one I grabbed off of the subreddit group, guitarcirclejerk. I've been spending some time over there. I've been lurking for a long time. Something happened. I'm going to talk about this first. Something fun happened over there recently. If you're familiar with the subreddit guitarcirclejerk, they are obsessed over there. This person is basically their god, is Tyler from the Music is Win channel.
Right.
Every other post is about Tyler, something about him, the way he looks, something about his wife, in trying to not be creepy, but kind of creepy ways. Something about the way he plays.
It just dawned on me. So Music is Win, the whole thing with him and his wife is he teaches his wife how to play like Taylor Swift or whatever, right?
Right.
And so the obvious copy thing would be you teaching your wife how to play guitar. The better copy thing would be you teaching me how to play electric guitar.
So anyways, they've been trashing on this guy for years, maybe forever. Like, he is the central point of their focus.
Right.
He recently found out about the subreddit and posted on there. I was like, hey guys, look through everything here. You guys are wild. I'm down to do an AMA if you want me to. And the very next day, he didn't ask me anything.
Nice.
And he took it like a champ. Super good sport, super good sense of humor. So I'm here to congratulate Tyler for having a good sense of humor and being an upstanding citizen of the internet. And you know what? Congratulations, guitarcirclejerk. Your wildest dreams came true. You know, your muse has become your deity. So good on you guys. Because they're all like singing his praises now because he's actually cool with them and like didn't throw a fit or anything like that. He had fun. He had a good sense of humor in the AMA. I read through maybe like a quarter of it. I'm like, this is going a good direction. I
when AMAs like blow up, it's so I don't know how people read it all.
Oh yeah, there's so much.
I tried to read it. I tried to read like a Jeopardy AMA for I don't remember what contestant it was, but they had an AMA and it had like 400 comments on it. And I'm like, do people actually just read this?
It's crazy. So anyways, I was on there today and this screen grab popped up. Of course, over there, they make fun of people who are crazy for Boss katanas.
Yeah.
But anyways, you know, a Boss katana is, you know, an amp that I enjoy it greatly, but it's obviously an amp that is going to be very accessible to new players. And so there's going to be interesting discussions around it. This post says, can't get any sort of high gain or distorted sounds. And then edit. Thank you. Many people commented that I should try maxing out the volume knob on my guitar on my guitar to control the volume through knobs on the amp. It worked. Thank God nothing is wrong with my amp. I was the problem. I would always put the volume knob on the guitar to like 2 out of 10 when playing the high gain stuff because I didn't know it mattered. Thank you so much for everyone who tried to help. I love you all. Rock on. And I was thinking about this, and first, you know, initially you're like, who turns down their guitar?
Right.
Playing through a high gain for anything. Like, why would you do that at all? But then I really started to think about it, and it's like, if you handed someone a TV remote or a stereo volume knob, I was like, hey, go crazy. What do you think the default setting was? And they just went straight to max. You would think they were an asshole. Like, so maybe like the first time you pick up a guitar or your early experiences with a guitar, it's not that crazy to be like, oh, I should probably start at 1 and work my way up.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so weird.
Because you don't really you might not have the concept that 10 is basically just open. It's not about turning it up. It's about you have the ability to turn it down. Like you want to start with the valve all the way open.
Yeah. I'm like reading through these different. So I actually found the thread because it's only 1 day old.
Right. It's new.
And it's just wild. But yeah, a few people were like, "Oh, it's your guitar turned up." Like, or some people were like assumed that was already the case, that they weren't screwing that one up and that it was the that like the cable was broken or something.
Oh, sure.
But that's wild. I just never I don't know, like I've never thought of that. Even when I first got one.
I mean, when I first got an amp, my goal right away was to try to turn all the knobs as far up as it could on everything. But I'd seen Bill and Ted. Maybe this guy had never seen Bill and Ted. So he didn't know you're just supposed to roll everything all the way up. You know, I used to just love turning my crate all the way up and then feeling like the air vibrate in and out of the headphone jack. It's like, oh, there's a little fan in there. It's moving the air around. But I don't know. I thought it was an interesting, and maybe there's not a lot to work with there. I don't know.
No, it is interesting so far that, like, you know, most people even like, I think pretty much all of my guitars, if I have the volume knob at like, because they said it's like 2 out of 10,
off, right? 2 is
it's basically off. Like, if I'm at 2 out of 10, how hot am I? Like, how hard am I cranking my amp to even be able to hear it?
Imagine when this guy figured it out. He must have, assuming he has the Katana 50, still a stupid loud amp.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out why it's so quiet, so he's got the master up. He's got the first volume up. He's got the gain all the way up. He's like, why is this so quiet? He's got the EQ all the way up, trying to get extra sound out of this. And then he bumps the volume on his guitar a little bit, and all of a sudden, like, his windows blow out of his house.
Right?
Something like that. That's a dangerous knob if you've got everything else cranked and it's all dependent on your guitar's volume.
Like, I feel like I need to try that now. Like, roll the guitar back to like 2 and see how like loud I need to turn my amp. Because most of my amps I run below definitely below like 12 o'clock.
Oh, sure.
Like, I can't even.
I run all my amps like almost like below 3 on the dial, and I feel like that's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
I'm usually going for a clean sound. Bot Rock 47 says, when I got into guitar, I used to pester the folks in my local shop with thousands of questions. New guitarists have the internet. That's 100% true. Yeah. I mean, I had the internet technically, but it wasn't easy to find information back then. I don't think I'd found the Harmony Central boards yet when I first started. The first electric guitar I had a knockoff Floyd Rose on it. The first time I broke a string, I ended up in the local shop that specialized in renting out, band instruments to the marching band. And I brought in a Floyd Rose and was like, how do I change the strings on this? I don't understand. And they were only familiar with the kind of Floyd Roses that are like backloading, where you could slide the string in through the back. And so they were like trying to figure out how to slide the string in through the clamping screw. And they couldn't figure it out. And like, we don't know. We don't know how to work with this one. And they sent me home without knowing how to fix my guitar. And I just had to sit there and mess around with it and monkey around with it to figure it out. But yeah, I used to go hang out in guitar shops and like sit there and act like I was looking at stuff, and then watch other people who looked like they knew what they were doing, and like trying to watch like, the shapes that they would play on the fretboard to figure out how to play things, and then go home and try it, and it was a different world. Even though I was on the edge of like being on the internet in the late 90s, like it definitely was not the amount of information that we have now.
Yeah, I think it probably depends where you go. I think it took a while for the internet to go like publicly as full troll as it is now.
I gotta say, in the late 90s, being on the Harmony Central board, there was plenty of trolling and plenty of misinformation. And that was part of the problem. Is like there was information, but you didn't know which of it was real.
Right.
Like someone being pissed off at you because you asked a question that they think is obvious or has been asked a million times and things like that, So thankfully, it seems like people helped this guy figured it out. And, I'd say
because it was actually in, it's like
it was in an actual group.
Focus. That's definitely like.
Oh, this is in the R Boss Katana group, which
right.
I joined.
So that is something that I've seen, particularly on Reddit. If you go to a product,
right, there will be actual
your people actually are interested in like learning more about what they're doing and then sharing information. If you go to like, it depends. Like the base subreddit's not too bad. When I venture in there, guitar pedals can get really dumb.
Yeah,
guitars is a mixed bag, and then the circle jerk version of all of these is like intentionally awful.
Yeah. All right. Next ad.
Yes,
he says. How do I? There we go. I figured it out. This thing's fun. This was posted to the group by Guitars for Idiots. I think it's one of those situations where a group has joined our group or a page has joined.
Yeah. Another Morongo Valley. Is this the same one that we've looked at before?
The same guitar or same Morongo Valley? I don't know.
The same Morongo Valley store, because we've looked at.
Oh, maybe. This is like a parts build. If you read the description, this guy got this body that had been never used. It's built by Coral, which was a sub brand of Dan Electro, or a sister brand.
Right.
And then he built everything around this. He built the pick guard, those pickup rings. He found the tailpiece for it. He put his own neck on there. It sounded like he might have made the neck or done a parts neck or something like that. The description isn't completely clear on that. I mean, it looks like a custom cut headstock, that's for sure. But I think it's a really fun project, and I have definitely seen these bodies before floating around for not expensive. I've always wanted a Longhorn.
Yeah.
And this turned out really sharp. I think it looks really great.
That's really interesting. Because it definitely looks like something proper from that time period.
It looks period correct, but no, it's a parts build that he did. He wants $865 for it. Basically $900 after shipping.
Yeah.
I don't think I would pay that, but me looking at it, I'm like, man, maybe I need to be on the lookout for one of these bodies as a project starter. I'd have that aluminum neck. That would look good on this.
Oh my gosh, the aluminum neck would look wild.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm looking at
$900.
I mean, so for what it's worth, somebody else sold a full-on Coral on I don't know how much it's actually sold for, but there was a listing for like a full Coral Dan Electro Coral Longhorn, blah blah blah, serial number, etc., etc. That was listed for $1,900.
Damn, son.
So it makes me wonder, like, how much is just the body by itself worth?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It could be worth something.
Let's jump over to the old eBay. Coral Longhorn. Let's see what pops up. It's just a bunch of jewelry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be a tough Google.
I'll try adding guitar to it.
It's weird. Like, there's also a bunch of these were acoustic guitars.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I had one Dan Electro pop up. Very rare double eagle Longhorn Japan vintage, but it's not a Coral. It's a different build. But they want $1,500 for that, but it's not this same thing. I know I've seen these bodies pop up the same way that I found one in unused condition. There, when Dan Electro shut down, there's just a pile of bodies sitting around and parts just kind of sat in warehouses. And I think that was the situation with this. In fact, let me go over to the description and I'll just read it.
Oh, I thought you just did.
No, I loosely described my memory of it. So this guy started out as a new old stock Coral body left over from a closed Dan Electro factory. It spent the last 60 years being an unused body, making an unused body is what he's trying to type, making zero music. It was totally like that doll in Toy Story 2 that spent its whole life in its packaging. Super depressing to me anyways. So when I met this unlucky dude, I was like, guess what? And he looked forlongingly at me and was like, what? I go, I will make you into a weird guitar you were designed to be. And on top of that, I have a bunch of friends on the internet that will play the shit out of you. And maybe, just maybe, you will get to be in Guitar Player magazine. And then they'll be like, where do I get a cool guitar like that? And you'll be like, suck it. I am one of a kind, baby. What a happy ending. You don't need to think about the depressing 6 decades you spent in some garage somewhere. Anyway, this guitar is made up of a vintage body and tailpiece, but everything else is new and made by me. The tuners are nice Grovers. It's solid as a rock and sounds awesome. So basically, this is a funky old guitar with tons of vibe that has low action and a really one-of-a-kind look. It's definitely not a collector piece, but will serve you well and give you some new sounds to play with. So by that language, it sounds like he did build the neck.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's true about it being in Guitar Player magazine or whatever. But maybe he has some sort of maybe he's a writer over there or something like that. Or whatever. Maybe it did end up in it, but I don't know anything about that. Maybe he's just, weaving a yarn for the internet.
Yeah, I don't know if he's saying that if you get this, you will. I think he's saying like maybe it's like Jack White bringing back the Montgomery
okay,
stuff.
yeah.
Montgomery Ward's. Wow, I forgot Montgomery Ward's full name.
Well, you forgot his middle name.
Yeah. This store is wild. They are also selling a Texas Instruments Speaking Math that is circuit bent.
Oh, okay.
So like there's like a bunch of switches. So if you plug in straight and everything's off, it's just a normal Speaking Math, but with an like a speaker out cable. Right. Are you familiar with Speaking Math?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it behaves normally, but then you can start flipping switches and it'll start like a drone that will like warble with the vocal part. And the guy's also selling electric kalimbas.
That's wild.
So it's really goofy.
All right, guys. This episode is brought to you by Chase Bliss Audio, makers of the Automatone, right here in my hand. It's a collab between Benson. Oh, actually, this is the preamp MK2. Oh, it's the Automatone series.
Yeah. Preamp Mark II in collaboration with Benson.
Yep, says Benson right there on the back. It's a preamp. It's an EQ. It's a wild, wicked fuzz. And when it's plugged in and powered up, these sliders move all by themselves. It is magic. If you do a stage show, performing musician someday again in front of people, just put a camera on this thing, put it on the big screen behind you, and you'll have a great time watching this thing jump around. So huge thanks to Chase Bliss Audio for continuing to sponsor the podcast. They make this content possible, and because of that, you should consider buying something from them someday. Maybe two things, maybe everything that they make. So anyways, click the links down below. Tell them we sent you. Give Joel a big old kiss right on the cheek, not on the mouth. If he consents, kiss him on the mouth later, but give him a kiss on the cheek if it seems like he's into it.
You might give him coronavirus.
You might get it from him too. That's bad advice from me. One more. Should we do the topic or should we do the ad? Oh, we're out of ads, so we're
out of ads. We're doing this album review.
Oh, album review now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This week's album of choice. I was a little annoyed that you selected this album.
Why?
Because
it's too good.
Because I told you this morning
that you didn't have time.
I was like, I don't know what my day looks like. I don't know if I'm going to be able to how much time I'm going to have. And so the last time I had that problem, you selected Weezer's Blue Album, which even had I not listened to it before, it's like a 39 minute album. This is literally like one of the oldest or one of the longest albums on our album review list.
I definitely feel older after watching it.
Oh my gosh.
I feel aged.
So this was the first time I've listened to this album. I don't know if it was.
This is the first time for me too. I mean, I've heard the radio hits like we all have.
Yeah.
But I'd never listened to an entire Tool album. I've never listened to anything from the Maynard family of bands, full albums. Like Perfect Circle or anything like that.
What'd you think?
It's one of those things where this is a band that a lot of people get very excited about. And the people who love them really, really, really love them. It's a lot like Weezer that way.
This band is exactly like Weezer.
I kind of also, a comparison I made in my notes is that this is the 90s through early 2000s Rush. like it has this enthusiastic fan base that's kind of dazzled by what they think is complicated playing. But the rest of us are just kind of like, you're nowhere near as complicated as just normal jazz. And a lot of the stuff that's going on in here is pretty dead simple. Like, I think my big critique of a lot of this album, because, hearing the radio hits, you're like, oh man, this is, this got a real mood to it. When you hear a whole album of it, and it's the same kind of thing happening a bunch of times. I mean, the recipe for a Tool song is essentially a heavy riff.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's a heavy riff that's being looped, like 15 seconds of riff that's being looped over and over and over again. Some really just really fun drum playing. I think the drums are the core element of this band. It's the you know, the reason to listen, really. But then it just feels like this loop, this riff loop, and Maynard just, you know, spending a day riffing over that, and then they hack it up to a little bit, and oh, here you go, it's a song. It's got 3 riffs. One riff comprises 80% of the song, and then there might be something resembling a bridge. And that's every single song. It's definitely, it feels like a loop album to me. What do you think, Steve? What's your hot take?
I don't know if I really have a hot take. There's definitely, I think there's probably more going on than probably.
And I'm not saying simple is bad. I think simple can be a lot of fun. And I think there's a lot of fun to this, but I think it's a lot to listen to in one sitting, is all of this together.
I think it's like, you know, I definitely get what you're saying. You know, if I think about Rush through the lens of Freaks and Geeks, I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense, because, you know, a lot of the people I knew in high school who were into Tool were also like massive potheads.
I mean, this is definitely an album where you throw this on, it plays a long time, long songs, nice, slow, heavy riffs. You just hit that bong till it's gone, and I'm sure you're having a great old time listening to Tool. Like, I get it. But to me, like, I don't know, it just seemed like kind of boring at a certain point.
Well, isn't there also like a thing? Isn't there a whole thing too where both Rush and Tool espouse some like weird version of conservatism?
Well, Rush is super hardcore into Ayn Rand stuff.
For some reason, I was thinking Maynard was as well, but
I think the whole thing with Maynard is you know, just atheism. I think that's his whole thing. From what I've gathered from people talking about him, it's just, you know, issues with, you know, God and the church and whatnot, which is fine.
Right.
It's fine for people to write about that musically, creatively, artistically, whatever they want to do, any direction you want to go. It's your choice to have what other expression you want to have on your thoughts on religion. But you know, at a certain point, it becomes kind of like a one note argument. But I mean, honestly, I didn't spend a lot of time dissecting the lyrics in this.
No, I didn't either. I kind of just,
I got the feeling that he had a lot of trouble with a jigsaw puzzle at one point.
Oh my gosh. Because he knows the piece is fixed.
Yeah.
The pieces fit. Yeah, I don't want, you know, the politics or whatever aside. I feel like it's like one of these like ultra deep, like you really got to pay attention. It's not, you know, it's not like Green Day.
It's not like Green Day. I can agree. With it doesn't have the pop sensibilities or the fun or the listenability of Green Day.
So I'll say, like, I guess the thing I first keyed in on. So again, what I started to say and diverged on because I got stuck on Rush is I think, like you said, there is a simplicity to it, but it's like a complex simplicity because there are these polyrhythms, and you know, when the drums are doing something weird, it doesn't, like, even if the part you're supposed to be playing is really straightforward, you know, if your drummer isn't playing the same time signature that you're supposed to be playing, that automatically makes the music like kind of hard to do.
I guess I was sitting there while some of the songs were playing, and I was kind of noodling over it, and I was like, this isn't hard stuff. Like, I'm a dumbass who doesn't understand time signatures at all, and I was like, I have no problem playing over this.
Maybe it's easier for you because, you know, I have been in bands with you where you have struggled to play, you know, 4/4 songs in 4/4 because there was like a syncopated note in the middle of a riff.
I just admitted I'm a dumbass with that stuff.
In fact, we had a whole conversation today about Lincoln Brewster. And I remember there being a specific Lincoln Brewster riff. I was like, Ryan, you're killing me. It's anyway. The thing actually that stood out to me about this album is aside from them being late 90s, then the late 90s Rush, mid late 90s Rush is I thought I expected this to be a lot more intolerable, or at least the impression of it to be more intolerable, and maybe it says something about the kind of music I listen to. But
like you're expecting it to be like too hard for you or something like that.
Maybe not too hard, but at least hard enough that I would be like, oh, this is like
it's got like heavy riffs in it, but it's not at all like a difficult listen. Like anyone could listen to this, you know.
Right. Exactly. I would say this is like if you said, oh, you like metal and you should listen to Tool, but I was a Metallica fan, I'd be like, this isn't metal. Like, this is heavy, right. But it's more of its own thing where it's like, and for the most part, the vocal is pretty, it's not like I would say 9 Inch Nails is more metal than Tool is.
Yeah.
Because even like Maynard's vocal, I really enjoyed his voice on this album, but the vocal's not like pushing anything.
I didn't have any problem with his voice. I didn't have any problem with the tones or the production or even kind of like the voicing of the songs or anything like that. I think the thing that took me back was just kind of how simplistic it was when I was expecting it to be, because it kind of gets talked about as being, you know, kind of proggy, kind of, you know, advanced concepts and stuff like that. And I was listening to it, and literally, like, I started to draw comparisons between these songs and kind of the Dandy Warhol's more like self-indulgent ventures into songs that are really just one chord with like 2 riffs over it and are just, you know, like long, like jams. They're fun jams, but they're not, you know, they're not complex in any sort of way. And I was a little bit taken back by just how simple a lot of it is. Like it's almost
like once you figure out the trick,
right?
Like it's maybe it's a complicated trick, but if you can, either you can do it or you can't. And if you can, versus like you said, like even thinking of like an album that eventually I think we will get to is probably I want to say At the Drive-In, not At the Drive-In. The Mars Voltas,
right.
Bedlam and Goliath.
Thinking about that, I was thinking about the Mars Volta, which is crazy because I'm not like a huge Mars Volta guy or anything like that. I was listening to it, it's like it feels like it wants to go that direction where like it'll scatter into a million different directions, but then it really just is the same riff,
right,
for the whole song. Where there could have been this opportunity to go this super proggy, super like kind of outside the box direction with that kind of riffing, the kind of playing that's being done. Like if you keep exploring that and getting more and more wild with it, it goes some really interesting directions.
Yeah.
But instead it was just like, okay, here's the riff for this song. Buckle up. You're going to hear it a lot. It's kind of similar to the riff for the next 8 songs. So,
well, it's kind of interesting to think about that way. And we're definitely, you know, like I said, the Mars Volta has been suggested to us, and we will do that one. The one that we may or may not do, and it might drive you crazy, is the band that people really think of as, well, at least that I've seen, at least some people compared to as the actual modern Rush, though never as big, is Coheed. but I have a
Sure.
feeling you might stab yourself in the ears.
Yeah, I know I don't like the vocals for Coheed.
But for
I understand the comparison. I also don't like the vocals for Rush. So.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, like I do agree with you. You know, when as you put it out there, like Tool, like at least the songs on here are very establish the riff, and then that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
People clearly like it, so it's like they've succeeded.
Yeah, whereas like Coheed and the Mars Volta are more in the ones where they're writing songs that don't have choruses. Right. And so you're getting like 5 or 6 different movements in a song. Or if you have a chorus, it like comes out of like, it comes back to the chorus and you're like, how did I get here again?
Yeah. I feel like if I was in Tool as the guitarist, I would have a tough time, not because the riffs are hard, because I could learn all those riffs. I would have a tough time because you play the same riff over and over again for such long stretches in the song that I would have trouble remembering when to change to the few parts where it turns to something else.
Right.
It's like, oh, the band is doing something. Okay, it's the next riff. I started to doze off there a little bit. I will say there were some moments that I really enjoyed. I really enjoy the use of like slow racked wah pedal to do like filter stuff. And I think there were other like slow, like flanger and phaser effects every now and then. I thought that was really creative. I thought it was a fun sound from the guitarist. Someone commented earlier, like, oh, you guys actually need to listen to the music. Yeah, we did. I listened to the full album today. Copel said that you guys need to actually listen to the music. I did. I actually listened to it.
I mean, and that's the thing, right? Is that maybe that's the tough thing about, most of the album reviews that we do are one shot. Like if I'm picking the album, I usually try to pick it early enough in the week that I can maybe listen to it a couple times. But a lot of times these are like first impression plus like their pop culture reference. Like what was going on in my world when I first heard Schism. And one of my notes is that the word schism is ruined for me because on The Greatest Generation, I was like, schism.
The Greatest Generation being a Star Trek podcast.
Yeah.
There was one song. Let me find my note on it. Oh, Reflection. I don't know if you remember that song.
I did because I thought it was Disposition.
I'm sitting there listening to it and feeling the pacing of it and feeling the way it hit the scale vocally, like the vocal inflection on the scale. And I started to hum a song over it. I realized if you do it the right speed, nice and slow, you can 100% sing the verses to Walk Like an Egyptian over that song. Do 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 do. Like that's the key right there. Do 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 do. Whoa! Like it's the same scale, and it has like the same like cadence. If you slow it down, the way it leans in that do 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 do. And once I heard it, I couldn't stop hearing it.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa! That's a great song. It's a really good song. I want to hear that song now. I want to figure out if I can hack Walk Like an Egyptian over a Tool song now.
Right.
Or maybe I can hack Maynard singing into Walk Like an Egyptian.
You got any other thoughts on this? Is this an album you'd come back to, you think?
I don't think I'm ever going to listen to a Tool album again. I don't really care about Perfect Circle or any of the other projects. It's just not my style. But I didn't hate it. I was just kind of taken back by how simple it really was compared to, I think I was expecting something like you. I think I was expecting something a little bit more challenging, a little bit more heavy, a little bit more inaccessible. And it just felt kind of like big open loop jams to me. So
yeah, I mean, I could, the problem is for me thinking about this question is this album, the sound of it checks a lot of boxes that I look for when I'm listening to work music. But the problem is I feel like I stumble on accident into bands that I feel like do what I want better. So it's like, okay, I'm not with there not being anything about Tool that makes me think like, oh, I really want to listen to Tool. A lot of like shoegazy, doom, whatever bands have those same kind of guitar tones, that same kind of like heavy riffage that works really as like just background sounds.
Sure. I think if I was in the mood for big slow guitar riffs and kind of the moods that you get in this, I think I would go harder into like core doom sounds, like
right.
I wouldn't be messing around with Tool. I'd be going straight for doom bands.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like what my thought is on this as well.
Here's my closing note. I guess this is good background music for angry teens or whatever. Leave this on while you read Nietzsche quotes on the internet.
Oh my gosh.
Last topic, or you want to do housekeeping before we do the topic?
Yeah, hold on. I'm refilling my
okay,
liquid here.
We don't believe that. We don't think that you're like burbling big pours of piss into an open jar down there.
Little did you know, multitasking.
I roll like a porta potty in here. I sit on a toilet while we podcast.
So, housekeeping. Thanks everyone who supports the show. If you would like to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast or follow the link in the show notes. Whether you support the show at the $1 level or the $69 level or the $420.69 level, we appreciate everyone. Or send us music. I said this last week. We are running on the we have like 6 weeks of songs left, but that goes by really fast. So if I don't start asking for people to send in songs now, we will run out. Thanks everyone in the live chat tonight for hanging out. We're not ignoring you. We're just not addressing it as much in the show to keep it more audio friendly, I guess.
It would be less fun for the audio podcast if we're just reading comments.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, thanks everyone who supports the show. And if you want to help us produce what we do, the Inner Circle is paying for my camera. Thanks, Inner Circle.
Thanks, Inner Circle. That's absolutely true.
We should start getting the Inner Circle to pay for our internet bill. It'd probably go broke.
That's a little tough. I already write that off as a business expense anyways. So someone posted this to our group. Alec Ramirez did. This is our closing topic here from Deadbeat Sound. My name's Doug, and it's been my absolute pleasure supplying you guys with cheap pedals. I've completely lost my passion for pedals and music, so I've moved on to focus on just marketing. I'd love for this to go into good hands. If you are interested at all, please DM or email me, blah, 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 send me an offer. Also, if you think I could help with marketing for your business or someone you know, please email me as well. Sale includes Instagram/Facebook audience, website domain transfer, overseas factory for production contact. I think that means you get the contact information for the production. Copyright, email list, and industry contacts. No product will be included in sale. Are you familiar at all with Deadbeat?
I know that I think, was it the Void was a pretty popular pedal they did. They described themselves as broke teak pedals.
I think that's great. That's really fun. They were making those wood panel sided, budget friendly pedals.
Yeah.
They had like a modulation that was like a multi-modulation with a dial in the middle with little LEDs you could select. There was a couple of them. I think Josh Scott did a video about them.
He did.
A year or two back, something like that.
36. Apparently it was 36 weeks ago. 36 weeks ago.
Okay, so late last year. But the times that I've looked around trying to see if I could buy one, they didn't seem like they existed anymore. So I have a feeling they've been in decline for a while, and the guy's just ready to unload it. But they seemed like they were a popular option. Do you think this is a company worth buying with what's being offered there, which is basically copyrights and contacts?
They have a bunch of stuff on eBay, man.
Do they still being sold new?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. I didn't look hard enough when I was looking.
I don't know the answer, to that.
We don't know the answer. This is it's speculation.
I think the question I would have is what do you think 11,000 Instagram followers is worth? Is that worth very much?
It's worth about $100, I think.
I mean, I don't say that flippantly, or like, they have a YouTube channel that has a handful of videos. I can't count this real quick, and about 1,000 subs.
No, I don't think you're buying the social media. You're paying
no,
for.
You're buying the name and the social media and basically nothing else.
Well, you're buying the brand and the ability to continue to produce them, but then you have to recontact the factory and order more, basically.
Right. So I mean, I get, like, that's the thing, is the difference is you don't have to hire a graphic designer because the graphic designer's done. You could just contact this company and, just be like, hey, make this stuff,
Right.
The thing that's always been,
it's a company that's already started, and it's just waiting for someone to pop in with the funding to restart it again, to kick the engine back on, and be like, hey, factories, make me a new pallet of product and ship it to me, and I'll start distributing it again and trying to sell it. That's what you're buying.
Yeah.
Big Gear Grant just asked, copyright but no trademarks. It didn't mention trademarks. So I don't know. I have a feeling you'd have to write him and ask him, like, what the specific.
You don't think that was? I mean, do they own it? What would be a trademark here? Is the graphic design, is that a trademark, or is that a? I don't know. Like, I don't know the answer to this question.
I'm not going to say. I don't want to come across as a dumbass with that question. I know there are differences. Grant says, so then you aren't buying the name if you're not getting the trademark. Is I don't know. It sounds a little, unclear. I'd think that if I was going to be buying it, I'd want to buy the whole kit and caboodle. I'd want to buy the whole thing. I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, I'm just buying the operation side of it. I want to buy the whole brand.
Yeah, so I'm reading, this is from LegalZoom. Copyrights protect creative or intellectual works, and trademarks apply to commercial names, phrases, and logos. So it sounds like you wouldn't. Is there even copyright? Is there even copyright involved here?
Right.
Because if all this company did, and maybe they're doing, there's definitely, like, kind of a more to it. Like, the Deadbeat had really cool marketing going on. I mean, one of their pedals that was, like, really neat was the one they did that was basically an upside down case with a plexi top, so you were looking down into the circuit.
Right.
Called the visible overdrive. They did this Station series, which is like a Moog, bunch of Moog clone looking things.
Yeah, those are the ones I'm familiar with. The Moog style.
I was like kind of familiar with what they called the Blackout series. I think it's called the Black series, which was the Void was part of that. The weird looking delay that they had, the Thank You distortion that looks a lot like the Pi, Big Muff Pi. Those were the ones I knew from that.
I feel like for me to be, like, say I was a potential investor, I could be. I've got at least $475 in the bank. I could buy a company. I could sell a few pedals and make this happen. If I was going to buy a company like this, I'd want to already be a fan of them. I don't have any other stuff. I'd want to be in the situation where it's like, oh, they're for sale. I own like 6 of their pedals. I think they're great circuits, and I think I could sell them. Maybe I'll look into this. But where I'm at right now, I couldn't imagine just being like, oh, I've heard of them. Yeah, let me buy them. I'll buy the company.
Yeah.
I'll kickstart them back into production and turn this into a profitable venture for myself because I care deeply about the brand. Like it seems like, I don't know, maybe there's people out there who feel that way about Deadbolt Audio, but it's not me.
You apparently care so little about them that you just said Deadbolt Audio.
Deadbeat. You know me, I'm famously bad at talking.
So apparently someone, again, we're coming full circle. This is from the guitar pedals subreddit, the Void Reverb, and all the rest. Oh yeah, it definitely looks like they could be that from one of these series as just Elica guitar effects. And apparently like a lot of the stuff in the Deadbeat, they are different cases, which is kind of neat.
Or it's like the same circuit design.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all, especially if this stuff is being made overseas. It's import stuff. Broke teak is a fun term for it, but it wouldn't be surprising to me if there wasn't a lot of original circuitry going on in these.
Yeah,
so you're really buying an aesthetic,
right? And it is a cool aesthetic. Like I'm not gonna.
Oh sure,
I can't push back on that. If you like that aesthetic,
when you buy those pedals, you're buying a cool aesthetic at a more budget-friendly price than a boutique pedal.
Yeah. But I can definitely see the box style for some of these is definitely really close to the Elica case.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, part of me is like, if I was to start a pedal brand, and it's easier for me to say this because we have a built-in audience and we're not starting from dead zero. But if I was to start a pedal brand, I'd want to start from scratch. I want to contact a manufacturing company, like, oh, here's my idea for a custom case. I'm looking for circuits that do kind of this thing with these kinds of tweaks. And I would just, pay whatever development fee there is and start my own brand and start my own thing. And then maybe it would end up being the same or less than buying an existing brand.
Right.
And I could do my own art and everything and name my own pedals and whatnot.
So what do you, I guess one of the problems I have with this topic is like, it
sucks and we should have never started talking about it.
Well, I don't know how much something like this is worth.
No, me neither.
Especially because I
have no idea if this is worth $10,000 or $200,000.
Like you said, and that's the issue is so from what conversations that we have had with people who have at least looked at contracting OEM for pedals is you're looking at like what $5,000 to $10,000 just to order inventory, right? At least that's my understanding. Now, maybe because some of these already exist, like, is there any pre-existing inventory? Did he just say, or was it just like ship everything direct to Amazon, figure it out, and what's done is done? Like
you're paying for the brand work that they've done, the building a brand, building a following. You're paying for whatever R&D was done, developing the product, packaging, all that stuff. All that stuff has already been done for you. You're paying for a ready to go company that you just have to make a few calls and get it back into production. So whatever that amount of work is worth to you, like it's just sitting there. Like you could buy this company and have product being produced for you tomorrow, in theory.
So I guess like the question I would have though is like, how much How much R&D do you think there was?
Well, even if it's really dirt simple, like you still have to do all the emailing back and forth and approval of stuff. Like you still have to have products sent to you, and it's still got to be quite a process.
Yeah, I mean,
and it sounds like they have a decent amount of product in their product line.
Right. There's one. I think there's something like maybe 10 or 12 total pedals.
So for product development, you'd have to go back and forth and getting prototypes sent to you and whatnot and approval and developing the art for 10 pedals, which is, I mean, it's pretty simple art on the 50/50 pedal, but it still took me weeks
to
get around to deciding that I was good with it, Not that their graphics are difficult or anything like that. It's pretty simple stuff. But the cases seem like they're well designed or at least uniquely designed, and maybe it was a pre-existing case that they just pulled the trigger on. I don't know, but there were decisions that had to be made. So there is R&D time on these, even if it wasn't hard sketching stuff out and coming out with unique plans or whatever. Decisions had to be made, and if you just buy the company as it is, you don't have to make those decisions. The products are just waiting to be produced again.
Yeah,
but then if you want to develop new product for this brand that you bought, then you have to start doing R&D again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at, it's interesting because some people like, maybe that is what you're just paying for the research. The research was the housing. So like those Moog looking ones on the gear page, they're saying that these are, at least the chip is out of a Hotone pedal. Hot one?
Hot tone.
Hot tone?
Hot tone.
These are the same, potentially the same as like the Cool Music pedals, but
yeah, no,
they're not. They look way better,
right?
But it's also that thing where it's like
you're not buying something unique.
You're not buying something unique. You're paying for an aesthetic.
Yeah. It's bad. I mean, it's not terrible, but
it's not bad. But it's like,
I wonder how much money you could make buying the brand and instead of selling pedals, selling the cases to pedal builders.
Can you get these cases? I mean, maybe you can.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but if the builders
they've invested R&D time into the manufacturers to be like, hey, design these cases for us,
right?
And then populate them with pedals instead, because the cases are cool. Those like Moog looking cases.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, provide those cases via like a Mammoth or Small Bear sort of website, and say really cool pedal cases that you can build projects into. Maybe they would be a really fun kit platform. Reinvent the brand in that sort of way.
My suspicion is that there's not enough profit margin to make that work.
No, probably not. I was thinking
that people will. I think people will pay. Okay, this is say these pedals are just like we said, like they're Elicas or they're Cool Music. You can get the same thing, but in a not very interesting case for like $30, or you can get the Deadbeat version for $70 or however much they are. They're like, I think what I was looking at, it said it was $100, but it was marked down to 60. So I don't know what the real price was, but even 60. So say it's double the price, but you get a cool case. But if you're just buying that case by itself, like you're not going to get $30 for a cool looking pedal case,
right?
Because like a Hammond aluminum enclosure box, when you go buy that from like Fry's, because I used to buy Hammond boxes at Fry's, they're like, the most expensive one is maybe $12.
Yeah.
And that's for like a big one, like a standard like 1590 or 125B sized box. I was getting those for like $5 or $6 a box. And that's the most expensive part of a pedal. And I know we've talked about this before. It's like, what's the most expensive?
Switches were most important, like the foot switches. I mean,
yeah, like it's like the foot switch, and then depending on what quality jack, if you're getting a high quality jack,
yeah,
Like that's
But
the
then if
most
you get
expensive part.
concentric pots are stupid expensive too. Like,
Yeah, but who uses concentric pots?
I wanted to on the 50/50, but it was too expensive.
Oh,
That's how I know.
yeah. I just I don't know. I suspect. I don't think anyone's going to buy this company. I could be wrong.
I mean, all those circuits you were mentioning, if they're Hotones, if they're cool music, whatever, a lot of those circuits can sound good.
Yeah.
The problem is that they already exist in 12 different sub brands of import companies. And it's just like, it's not special. It's not exciting. Like if people are buying something with a boutique look, they want it to have a quirky feature. They want it to do something else can't. They want to feel like there's something special going on there. And once it gets out that there's nothing hot under the hood, most people aren't going to be interested despite it looking cool. So I don't know. It's a rough sell. That's for sure. You want to tell us about the song, Steve? And then here, I'm going to put the link.
Yeah,
live chat. People can join on and chat with us for half an hour or so if they want.
Sure. This song was sent by Andy Shaffer. He says, "Hey, Ryan and Steve, not sure if you need a song at the moment or not. My podcast listening is a bit interrupted since I'm not at a desk all day right now, but with my current extra free time, I recorded this song I'm calling Quarantine Sweetie. I used an American Strat with a bridge humbucker for the bass and some guitar and a 90s Duosonic for the other guitar, all through Bias Effects 2 in Ableton. All the drums and keys are Ableton stock instruments." Maybe that's what I need is Ableton. I always think about recording and I'm like, how would I do drums? And the vocals were through my brain broke.
Yeah?
And the vocals were through an MXL mic that came in a pack with the interface. Hope you guys are doing well with everything going on at the moment. He sent an attachment and a link. But for you audio listeners, enjoy this song. It's called Quarantine Sweetie. And thanks, Andy, for sending it to us. As Ryan said, for everyone on live stream, hold on a second. But before that, let's end this right now and say thanks, everyone. And stay grounded.
All right. Stop recording. I posted the link. I'll post it again. Emily's sitting here waiting. Hey, Emily.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I've got my mic working today. My headphones.
Oh, good.
I'll be back.
That was terrible.
I'll be back.
He's going to be back.
Oh, wow. Look at that profile picture. Is that baby Steve?
Stuff right there. We got Damien. Hey, Damien.
Hey.
Hey.
So, the other day, I didn't, for some reason, it went back to defaults on my system settings and it was doing the laptop speakers instead of going through my headphones. Roadcaster. So I could barely hear you guys. Oh, hey, Kitty.
Was that Bilbo?
Yeah, Bilbo.
Nice.
Thanks.
I could barely hear you guys because it was coming through the speakers, and the headphones were keeping me from hearing.
Oh, doesn't like that.
Oh yeah. No.
He's angry because it's 1 o'clock here in Florida, and he's very why are we up right now?
So it's 100 degrees in Florida right now at this very moment.
Yeah, it's still, yeah. It's the palmetto bushes are on fire. Yeah.
Ryan, have you plugged in your automaton yet?
No, I opened the box literally half an hour before sitting down to podcast, so I haven't had a chance to yet. I'm probably gonna mess with it a little bit tomorrow. I'm not gonna do an unboxing style video with it because it deserves better than that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spend some time learning it, and then I'll do a proper demo for it, hopefully in the next week or two.
Nice. It's a lot of fun. I like it a lot.
I spent some time playing with it at Winter NAMM, and I thought it was a lot of fun there. But I could tell that there was a lot I needed to unpack with it and figure out. And as I was running it into HX Stomp, which is fine, but it's if you're running a preamp that does boosty stuff, you want to run it into a tube amp to really figure out what it can do.
That's true.
The HX Stomp gets a little little wily if you're boosting into it.
I've never played one.
Oh, really? It's what you would expect. I mean, it's good. There's some good sounds in there, but it doesn't act like an amp when you push it. You know.
Yeah.
It acts like an amp when you program it to act like a pushed amp, but you can't actually push it like an amp.
How do you feel about that? I know you did the comparison video with that and the Iridium. Do you think the Iridium works better as far as being pushed by? Because I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can throw a boost in front of the Iridium and it'll get dirty. He's back.
Right.
Yeah, you can throw a big loud fuzz in an Iridium and it'll act more like an amp does. I used the Iridium to record my my stuff at Pitbull Audio.
Oh, nice.
And I had used the HX Stomp for all my on-the-spot recording before, and you know, it takes a little bit more work with the Iridium in post to get it sounding good. I just have to do a little bit of an EQ curve on it and a tiny little bit of compression because it just sounds like an amp with kind of like a somewhat boring SM58 sort of mic on it, you know? So the same as it would be if you were running that setup. It just needs a little bit of help in post, where like with the HX Stomp, you know, I start with the patch being dialed in to be basically finished sounding. It just doesn't act like an amp all the time.
Yeah.
With the Iridium, you can change like the IRs loaded into it, right? Hello again.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, that might be a thing that you could like tailor a little bit more if you really wanted to dive in that hard.
If I do that, then I'll get to a place where like, oh, I know I've dicked with it and I just kind of miss the stock settings. I enjoy the stock settings when I play with it live because it actually sounds, like I said, like an amp with a mic on it, and that's what I want when I'm playing live. You know, in a band mix, it doesn't need any help at all, and if it does, then the guy sitting behind the PA mixer can take care of that.
Amen.
Yeah,
sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
If he feels the need to bury me in the mix, then maybe I deserved it.
What did I say? What did I do?
Wait, did the cat from over here go over there?
Yeah, and then she changed a little.
That's how it works.
Steve has cats. Maybe the cat can go up to Steve at some point.
Oh, I had to.
My cat
I
is
tricked her
downstairs.
Hard.
My door's closed.
Princess Carrie Fisher. She is mad. She's like, I just thought I was getting a cookie, and I got picked up.
Yeah, I tried holding Bilbo a second ago, and he's like, "Nope, I'm gonna start messing with your cables and all the other things you have lying around." Yeah, some stuff. He is being a dick. Anyway.
You mean he's being a cat?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean,
assholes.
I grew up for the most part just like only having dogs, so I wasn't really used to cats. And it's been a learning curve, but it's awesome.
I grew up with cats and dogs, and these days I'm pretty like, I don't really care. I don't really care if I have a pet ever again. But also, like my wife is super allergic to dogs, despite the fact that she would love to have a pet dog. She just can't. And then my son is super allergic to cats. Like he goes over to grandma's house, and there's a cat there, and he comes back just red-eyed and stuff. He doesn't care because he's a kid, but I'm just, man, you're having a rough time. Speaking of cat, Sassy Cat.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, the only issue I had was I had some, like, I have all my rig is set up like right here, and I would generally have like some cables laying around, and when we first got Bilbo, he would chew on my cables. Thankfully, they were sinusoids, so if anything did happen, I'd get covered. But yeah, he would just go crazy.
Cat guarantee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky. She's not destructive at all, but she doesn't really come in here.
He hasn't messed with things since.
Here's a brand idea: cables. 9 live cables. You get to return them 9 times, and then you're cut off.
Nice.
Do you have to prove you have a cat also? Like,
Yeah.
How terrible are your cables that you have to get them repaired 9 times?
Well, it's
but that's the bit. So it's like
not as good as a 100-year guarantee. Like if you get a decade off a cable, you're doing pretty damn good, in my opinion. You send it in once a decade for servicing, it's pretty similar to a 100-year guarantee.
Yeah. That's true.
that cable getting passed on with like the engagement ring from grandma. Your grandfather played this cable at the gig he proposed to me at. Grandma, thanks.
When you hire the wedding DJ, you're like, listen, I know this is unorthodox, but these cables have been in my family for a long time. If you could use these cables to run the speakers.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen. Like. Just can you just use this one? Like grandma should be stoked. Can you?
It would mean so much.
It's got oxygen-free copper.
But like 200 years from now, when people are trying to do that with their sinusoids, like, oh, we don't use speakers anymore. Everything's just crystals now. We have crystals that vibrate and float in the air. So Beo's here. Hey, man.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Resonant earth frequencies. One more time.
Oh, yeah.
We won't need
Bilbo's
speakers
like it's time
because we'll just be beaming information into each other's skulls.
Oh yeah. Once everyone gets their Amazon chips in their skull, and you can just get information transmitted to you.
It won't even be a chip anymore. We'll be genetically modified to just communicate. And telepathic music will be all the rage. Like you'll have these bands of people who are just using telepathy to like hum frequencies, and like people who can really get close to instrument sounds will be very popular with their telepathic.
I could see it now, like live on stage, just like 6 people, just like.
Oh my god!
And the audience is like, yeah. They lose their mind.
That's some the Emperor's Got No Clothes stuff right there.
But if they're hearing it through their brainwaves, and it's it's not made up, they're actually experiencing it. And here's the thing: it could save the music industry, because how do you record it? You have to be there. You have to experience it live. That's it. Telepathic music will save the music.
Listen, if Prince couldn't figure out the telepathic music, and I'm sure he tried, I don't know if anyone's gonna.
Yeah, technology. An hour and 40 in, and we're already like telepathic music, guys. Listen.
I mean, I took an edible 30 minutes ago. I'm ready. To party.
Ryan and I are still waiting for the $420 Patreon for that one to happen.
Here's what I'll say. If someone wants to, did you actually put a $420 level, Steve?
No, I just always talk about it on the show.
If someone donates $420 a month, the first month they do it, I will procure some edibles, and I'll do edibles on the show.
Nice. What album are you going to listen to?
Ryan is planning on.
You have to be very careful about that.
Ryan is going to consume multiple edibles.
420 worth of edibles, or just do it once?
I'll eat a whole.
Don't do that.
We're just gonna cruise. We're just gonna cruise over to the San Diego recreational cannabis, whatever. I think that's an expert. And we're just gonna be like, hey, we have $420.
Here's the rest of my pitch.
They'll probably think you're joking.
Here's the rest of my pitch. If that person
I forgot
continues their $420 Patreonage for, let's say, a season, a quarter, 3 months.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
I'll get a bong or something. I don't know. I'll smoke a bong on the podcast. This is coming from someone who has never partaken. I have no idea how any of this works. But that's how much I love money.
Oh wow.
That's how much I love money.
I studied music business in college, and there's this book that we had to buy for the class. It's called Music and Money. And we always refer to that book as the "I like music, but I love money" book.
So here's the problem I'm having, Ryan, is I'm cruising the SDRC website. There are no edibles that on that website that cost more than $25.
I'm not down with that plan. I don't.
That's for like a pack of 10 too, probably.
I don't want to spend $420 on edibles. I'm saying I'm going to keep that money, Steve. We're going to keep that money together.
You're gonna do it for $420, but only get 20 worth of edibles,
or $4.20 worth of edibles.
Yeah. Well.
So the most.
Here's what we'll do.
The most expensive thing on here is 20 servings per package, and it's $25.
Here's what we'll do. We'll get a normal amount of edibles for a normal amount of money, but then we'll on the way to podcast. And I've wanted to do this for a while with Patreon money. We'll get one of everything off the menu at Taco Bell.
Nice.
But now there's no more potatoes. What's the point?
60 cycle yum.
Oh, they took those off?
No more potatoes.
What was that taco called?
No, they had like it was like their fries. It was like the Mexi fries or Mexi tots.
I don't think I've seen those. I'm also very confused about this dime bag that they sell, but it's $100. How does that doesn't make any sense? Why isn't it a dime?
Steve is drugs now. I almost said that if it was selling Patreons at $420 for a year, then I'll
10 grams
on the show. But then I realized I'd have no idea how to find acid.
It's 14 grams.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Don't do that on the show.
I just want to see Ryan and Steve walking into a dispensary center with just like an amount of money in hand. Just going like, hi, yes, we would like a regular amount of product, please. Regular price.
That'd be like, are you? That's like, are you a cop?
Yeah, exactly.
Hello there, neighborhood.
Hello, fellow children.
Oh, I know.
Like if you guys are two aliens,
like this DMT, like super hard psychedelic DMT, and then try to do the telepathic music with that.
Well, then you would succeed. That
you can get it to work. Yeah.
Yeah. Hot Rock 47 just commented, I don't know. Acid is a long-term commitment.
It is. I've never done it. A long-term commitment.
So
I would never do acid.
I've watched shows about it. I've watched shows about it and seen people talk about their experience on it and stuff. And I've seen people talk about all sorts of other drugs and whatnot. And acid is the one that sounds like it appeals to me the most.
No, you don't want acid. You want mushrooms. You don't want acid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what
people think they want acid, and what really they want is mushrooms.
I'd have to compare the two, I suppose. No, I mean the shows that I watched were about acid. And I was
in the comments, should he do acid or mushrooms?
Ryan wants to
7 people.
Ryan wants to get acid, lay down in a
oh, dude,
what's
that thing called? Sensory deprivation chamber.
Here's the thing.
Like a float chamber.
Yeah, just like the move, just like John Hurt.
Here's the thing. Someone offered to procure some for me for the last Winter NAMM, which would have been a big mistake, a nightmare. I looked it up. I was like, well, how long does it last? It can last up to like 12 hours.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to do it.
Like, yeah, I've got to work at NAMM, so that's not going to happen.
Interesting NAMM demos. Ryan's just like strumming chords, like, oh, that ain't it.
I don't know if I'd get around. I don't know if I'd actually get around to actually working if I was going through that at NAMM. I might end up abandoning my rig somewhere, like next to a bathroom, and end up underneath the booth at Chase Bliss Audio or something.
You just get stuck at one of those like leather boutiques.
Stuck at
like an S&M shop.
Yeah, because that's what they have at NAMM is they have these like rock, these 80s. It's where you go to get your Guns N' Roses outfit.
Oh yeah, your David Lee Roth's assless chaps.
Nice.
I'd end up over in the horn section, over in the clarinet. Someone would have to come around.
Yeah, here's the thing: never do anything for the first time like that in public.
Obviously, I do it here on the podcast for money.
By the way, I didn't show you guys this yet, but I wanted to show you. I put on my special hat just for our conversation.
Oh, jeez.
I've never done any illegal drug of any kind. I used to be on Ritalin for my ADD. And one time I took a little bit too much. I overlapped doses on that, and that was interesting. Yeah, time slowed down a little bit. But yeah, I've never partaken of anything, so I don't know if I'm missing out. I'm having a great time.
No, don't.
If you don't feel like you're missing it, then you're not missing out.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think people who think are missing out usually overdo stuff, and so then I don't think it's a good idea.
I hear anyone describe, their experience on cannabis, I'm just, it just sounds kind of boring. Not really.
Oh.
Yeah, we have to have a conversation sometime, Ryan.
Yeah.
We'll do a road case, and I'll come out to Nashville, and
all right.
That'll be the 60 cycle yum segment.
Probably.
Oh my god.
Ooh, yeah.
Whatever you try, you won't get hooked on it unless it's heroin. I think people do get hooked on heroin.
I've heard sometimes people do the heroin.
I don't think it's Nashville's biggest drug, so not a ton of risk there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know what people do here.
Yeah.
They drink.
They just drink and drive.
At Summer Nam last year, I was very happy to find out that you can drink as a passenger in Nashville.
I didn't know that either.
I had an amazing time taking a ride in the back of a pickup truck with a 40 of High Life while a thunderstorm was happening, and I'll never forget that.
Oh.
I got sassy with that. You like that?
Sounds like stuff you do in a ranch. Like
it was great. No, we were just we went and picked up some hot chicken.
A very Tennessee sort of thing.
Wait, which hot? You always do like? Did you
hot
do Bolton's
chicken?
or do you always do Patty's?
Bolton's.
Bolton's is good.
Yeah, I like Bolton's. I hadn't had anything else, but I really like Bolton's. Bolton's has the grit to it that I like in like local taco shops. Like,
Yeah, totally.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Hattie B's," and I've seen it covered in clothes and stuff.
I like Patty's. It's the hipster version. It's the gentrifier version.
That's not what I want. I like the gritty taco stand style places, and that's what you get there. So
I don't eat meat, so I don't know which one has the best chicken. But I went to. Is Prince's the one that burnt down? Do you know?
Yeah, it burned down.
I went to.
No, it didn't burn. I'm sorry, it didn't burn down. What had happened was someone drove a truck into it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I went to that
exploded after that.
Yeah, I went there before that, but I don't eat meat, so I just asked for French fries, and I said, "Can you make them hot fries?" But what I didn't know was that hot is one of the flavors. I just put some spice on it. You know what I mean? But hot was the second from the top, and I almost died. It was horrible.
Yeah, that'll happen.
No, you could get the seasoning on fries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, when you buy the chicken, they just with the side of fries, they sprinkle some seasoning on there.
I hadn't gotten fries from these places. I usually get things I can't get at home, like collard greens and whatnot.
Bolton's has fries, but Bolton's has mac and cheese. Prince has never had mac and cheese. They just had fries or the potato salad. The potato salad is the correct choice if you're getting anything above a medium there.
Do you guys know the story of hot chicken? Do you know how it came to be?
Yeah, I told you that story.
I don't. I feel like maybe. Yeah, I don't know if it was you or someone, but maybe. Tell it.
Well, there was a man whose name was actually it was like John Prince or something, and he was dating this woman, and he had a reputation. He would go out, he liked to have a good time all night, come home late to her, and one night he came home drunk as a skunk, maybe with some glitter on him or whatever, and he demanded she make him some chicken. So she said, I'll make you some chicken. And she goes in the kitchen with everything. Yeah, that's right. and just took everything hot they had, all the cayenne pepper, all the hot sauce, fried him up some chicken as a punishment. And he loved it so much, he had her make it for all of his friends, and he started selling it at his barbecue business, and it became the entire business. They did not get married.
It was a spicy chicken.
I have made fried chicken at home before. If you come home super late at night and start demanding someone make you fried chicken, you're an asshole. Is that an hour and a half?
Biggest dick move.
Man, I want some
like chicken.
I want some fried chicken.
Get in there and make me some fried chicken, and then you stand there waiting for an hour and a half while soak chicken in some batter, and then do the flour and the egg and the flour, and then they fry it, and it has to sit in the fryer for 40 minutes or whatever.
What?
You're like, finish my chicken, please.
I don't think your fryer is the right temperature if it's taking 40 minutes to fry.
That was the 70s,
chicken.
right? When did this start? When did the restaurant start?
I don't remember, but that sounds right.
It has a Wikipedia page. The story is on Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
For a thick piece of chicken, you do need to fry it for a while, unless you have a pressure fryer. If you're frying
they use a cast iron skillet.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's gonna take a while because you need to get it cooked down to the bone.
So it's not 400 degrees at 1 hour; it's 400 hours at 1 degree.
400 degrees is actually one of the other hot chicken places, by the way.
How hard do you have to slap a chicken to fry it?
Somebody figured that out.
I know, that's what I'm referencing. Because someone figured out, a slap. I mean, because energy, heat is just energy. How much energy is in a slap, and how hard does a slap need to be to transfer that energy into a chicken to cook it? And so they figured out how hard a slap would need to be to slap a chicken until it was cooked.
At the school I work at, one of the other science teachers in my department, they had that whole equation written out. I think in December, it was the last week before I went on break, and the kids they just asked that question. They're just like, all right, screw it, let's just do it. It was
that's
really funny to see. But yeah, I would try it. Shit.
You would try to slap a chicken?
Absolutely. Well, no, come on.
It's
you
dead
get the cutlet ready to go. I'm not just gonna find some rando chicken.
It lives a long life.
Chickens do attack you sometimes, though, so you might have to defend yourself against a chicken.
Oh yeah, it's coming straight at me.
Stand your ground against a chicken.
Then you'll need to choke that chicken if it attacks you.
Here's the thing coming back around, guys. In the future, is invented.
Sorry, now I'm thinking about Rocco's Modern Life and how that was a children's show, and the restaurant was called the Choky Chicken.
In the future, you won't need to go and eat something to taste it. You could pay someone to let you in on what they're tasting. So you could here's what you do. No, here's what you do. Instead of buying food at a restaurant, you pay for the cheap seats where you don't get any food, and you're sitting just outside where everyone else is eating, and you watch them eat, and you telepathically get the leftovers.
That is maybe the status thing.
You're standing outside of the restaurant, just smelling the food.
You get the sensations. You get the response to the flavors, but you don't actually have them in your mouth, and it's good, but it's not the full experience. Where the very upper crust wealthy people will be seeing their.
This is the dystopian society. I feel like we're heading towards. Anyway.
I don't like that.
That's
poor people, you can't afford the food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Your brain.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you've never smoked cannabis.
That's the thing. When I was in college, everyone would come to me to buy, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where to get it, guys. I don't know, because they'd assumed that I was just permanently on it.
On it, you're just on
right?
The weed.
I
have walking around
food. The real question, Ryan,
had a healthy serving of drugs is
the real question with all of this is, why are we talking about going to a store to buy weed? We know people.
We do know people.
I don't know
listen.
anybody.
If I do the 420 super chat, will you just grow it in your backyard and smoke that? Because you can do that.
I know I can do that. My neighbor's doing it. I can just ask him for something.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't smoke
your neighbor.
If I smoke,
you have peaches, you have peppers, you have what the hell else? You got all kinds of stuff.
My kids are running around the backyard. I don't want them messing around with stuff.
You can cook with it, and
you can.
I can cook with all sorts of stuff. Is it good to cook with it? I don't know.
Yeah, you infuse it with butter.
These are Daddy's special cookies. What's up, kids?
Does it taste good though? Like I know you can cook with it to make baked goods and whatnot.
It won't taste good if it's too pungent. Like if it has that herbal kind of flavor. Right. They're not really that tasty. They just get you really fucked up.
How tall do pot plants grow?
Quite.
Yeah, they can grow up to 6 feet or something, right?
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
So Ryan would have the most popular house on the block for the wrong reasons.
I can't. I'm going to say like edibles would have to be the way for the podcast, unless we do go out on the deck.
If you have never done it, I would highly recommend that is not the way you experience it for the first time.
You think smoking is the way to go the first time?
Well, no. Okay, if you don't want
it's just a way different drunken feeling.
Yeah, it makes you feel drunker. It does.
It makes
you get these little vape pens.
Yeah, I don't want to vape.
Ryan just wants to run done.
Oh wow, you're a drug.
That I won't do. I don't care how much money you give me.
Well, they have to buy a whole kit and stuff. And I don't know.
I have some
get batteries and stuff. I don't know.
Good afternoon, fellow neighborhood dispensary. I have a large wad of cash here, and I would like some pot.
Next week, Ryan comes in. He has like a tribal tattoo armband.
I'm like non-stop.
What's up, bro?
We're going to 60 seconds on the Hacky Sack podcast.
We're all fish and
wait.
Now. That's it.
Hey man, I listen to Spin Doctor.
I gotta ask: Is he wearing an affliction shirt when he goes into the dispensary?
Oh my gosh!
Spirals down, right?
It's like, yeah, this guy's a narc.
Here's what I do, guys. I do my thing that I've talked about forever is doing a Craigslist ad trying to sell something and set the price at before it had been pizza and brown liquor, but maybe I do pizza and an edible or something. I don't know. How many drugs would I order?
Also, I don't think you want drugs from strangers. You want to talk to people at the dispensary.
Yeah. You're not good at this, Ryan.
That's how you wake up in like.
Don't just trust strangers to give you something that's not going to send you to a bad place.
Exactly. That's when you wake up in the woods like 3 days later, just like, what's happening?
Oh, you're saying I could sleep for 3 days?
Oh, Ryan.
Absolutely not.
No.
Acid maybe, but
Ryan, we're in a biotech hub. You get the freaking designer stuff, man.
The stuff.
It's all blended for certain moods. Like down here, I have the vape pens that are like clean the house weed, and then I have the edibles that are like give you nice sleep now weed.
So you have like
you're closer to Humboldt.
You open up a briefcase and you've got like 30 of these things for different tasks.
No, I have literally 2 of them. Those are the 2.
Clean the house and then
yeah. I mean, I got to after that.
Have you guys seen American Beauty?
Yeah,
I have not.
The kid hooks the guy up with some like strain that is it's magical, this and that, and I forget what it's called, but he's like some astronomical price, and it was just so funny because growing up in a community where we all smoked marijuana when I was growing up, it was just absurd. He's like $4,000 for this bag here, and it's like that doesn't exist. That's not a real thing. You guys are in California, you can go and
I know it's cheap.
Experience whatever like for $20. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, $20. Yeah, we'll get you a gram of something that's really good or something. Yeah.
I've never
Such a
had that
different world, too,
experience.
because speaking of kids,
At the
kids
store.
running around, but probably just within your neighborhood, there's probably other people teaching their kids how to grow and.
Oh sure,
I don't know.
There's a ton of growing going on all over the place.
Super, just wild for me to grasp that concept, especially coming from, Pennsylvania originally, now living in the South where it's not cool.
My dad used to grow before I was born, and they have a picture in a photo book somewhere of my dad with a big plant. And my mom, when my mom got pregnant with me, she was like, "Well, we're about to have a kid, so you either need to throw it out or you need to smoke it all." And he smoked it all.
Well, that wouldn't have been legal back then.
Wow.
It was illegal.
My great grandfather grew it in the 70s and 80s in South Carolina. And it was very legal, very legal. Nobody really knew anything about it, but he had cancer, and he figured out that it helped him with some of that. He was also just a bad person.
Yeah.
I feel so old when you say that. My great grandfather back in the 70s.
Well, he was at the end of his life in the 70s. And actually, now I think about it, like they had kids young. My mom had her first kid when she was 19. I think my grandmother was like 22, and she had my mom or something. I don't know.
Wait, say that again. You're 19. Your mom had your first kid at 19, and your grandma is 22.
Don't worry about it.
Let's
not anybody. Nobody cares about myancestry.com.
I'm 35 and I don't have any kids, but your grandma was
31. No
what's
kids.
that mean? 41 when she had a grandkid.
Yeah, they were in there.
That's wacky to think about.
Yeah.
I'm like getting old, I guess.
Yeah, I'm 30, I'm going to be 39. I'm old enough to be a great grandfather if I was ambitious enough and my kids were ambitious. I could have had a kid at 13, which means I could have had a grandkid at 26. Which means I could have had a great grandkid at 39, which is this year.
I think at that point they would like start removing children from your collective family tree. No.
And I could have a great
something's amiss here. This is not
exactly.
At 40, no, at 52.
Greats are technically ancestors.
There you go. I could have ancestors by 52 years old.
You know that you can have conversations with your ancestors.
I've got to get multiple generations of children to agree to sire children at 13 years old.
Yeah, he's like, well, it's 13.
Usually it's like don't be like me.
The thing is, then they would all have to be like in the same age range, or it makes it even worse. It's already a bad start.
That's
a lot of underage.
Now, when you think about that, you're
I don't like this. I don't like this anymore.
Experiment. It is a terrible situation.
It's a terrible topic.
It is.
Who started this?
We have
great grandfather.
We have
so apparently the record is 7 generations being alive at once. The oldest was 100 and
Florida man.
The oldest was 109 years old. And the youngest the youngest had a child at the age of 15.
Jeez.
No, so not the youngest. The child who was born
child.
So basically this was a sequence of
7 generations.
20, 19, 18, 19, and then 15.
It seems more like they just had like an older person be able to live that amount of time.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that sort of thing would have been a lot more common back in 1800s, even 1900s.
Yeah.
I just found out
stuff when people were, but the problem is that people weren't living very long. People were dying at 40 because they lived a hard life. But if they had lived into their 80s and 90s, they would have seen great grandchildren and whatnot.
One of the Mexican ex-presidents, Porfirio Diaz, he married his niece when she was He was like 50 something, and he married his niece.
Oh
that was
no,
like 14 or
Ay, Dios mío.
yeah. It was really. I just really messed up part of history. But that
How
was
far back was that? Like, when was that?
I think it was like early 1900s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still not.
Oh, but still though.
Yeah. Still, I was like,
that's
this is freaking ridiculous.
That's one big yikes.
Oh
sandwich.
wait! Well, we have this. What's his name? The piano guy who married his cousin.
Oh, yeah.
And
Jerry
that
Lee
guy sucks.
Yeah.
He also
Jerry Lee Lewis?
probably murdered
Yeah.
two
There-
wives. For
yeah.
the record, that man definitely got away with murdering at least one wife.
Oh no!
I have a super odd thing in my family because I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and it's like really redneck area where I'm from originally. But my stepmom, her sister, met her husband at the family reunion, and they were second cousins. No, they were second cousins, and so when they had kids, their children were their third cousins.
Okay,
I'm not even joking. That's where I'm from.
so that's pretty common. I think. I don't know.
I like it.
I
There's
mean,
an episode of 30 Rock where she's on the with the guy and she's like, "Why do you have a picture of my grandma?" And,
Yeah.
no, that's a picture of my great aunt. And then they both say the same first name, and then they say no, and then they say the same first name again.
Maybe it is common because they tell that story like it's not weird.
Yeah, I think it's common in like rural areas.
Yeah.
not a lot of people in town, but like
that close.
Have you ever listened very close to see if a laugh track played after something like that was said? Like, that's my great aunt. Oh, that's my. And if you listen very closely, ha ha ha.
like the worst episode of Big Bang Theory, just like, oh no, oh no.
So, Steve, did all those 7 generations? Did they all live in the same trailer park or the same trailer or the?
That's
Probably
neat.
not.
Actually,
I did not. They were actually. I think they were
time
British.
travelers, and that's where
The
we're
holidays would have been horrible.
Maybe great family reunions.
But babe, I'm gonna take you to Thanksgiving. Like this, like stay away from like my uncle. My uncle's crazy. That's my dad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw this.
God.
This is not better than the last conversation.
Yeah. Like I said, we're traversing topics tonight.
We're doing great, guys. Oh, when are you guys going to listen to? What are you going to listen to next? Are you going to listen to the Bengals next? Because I think that you should.
Maybe, I don't know. We usually decide day of.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sure we're gonna get hate mail about my take on Tool.
Until yeah.
I mean, it's fine. Tool fans can die mad. I don't care.
No.
Don't you think they would like to time out? Isn't that kind of the point?
No way.
Oh,
No, I don't think so.
Maynard!
Focus on the positivity, man, not the negativity, man.
I feel like Tool fans aren't that aggro though.
No, not at all.
I don't know. I just
That
feel like
comparison.
they're too like Tool fans are too like Fibonacci sequence, bro, like to be actually upset over anything. Realistically speaking.
That comparison between Tool and Rush, though, that was well.
Oh, really?
It resonated with someone.
But I feel like Rush still has more substance though. Like you can like they still have more substance, but I get the fan parallel in that you have like,
Yeah.
you can like copy paste.
Do you remember the lyrics of any Rush song?
I could probably
I mean, I gotta go into like Geddy Lee range. But
what is the
But then Tool, like I think
I know more lyrics about Rush than I know Rush lyrics.
Yeah.
Tool lyrics are just like weird meter, like
For the
like that's all it is. Just like the shaven sides and just like
what I should have said is
Maynard looks like a goblin.
just Tool seemed like less interesting ministry to me.
Yeah.
Less interesting ministry.
Have you ever seen any of these bass amps?
Does he use Tool use the
Has
bass?
anyone ever seen his stage bass amps?
No.
Yeah, he always does something for every tour. One tour they were washing machines and like dryers.
Really?
And obviously, because you know how people he's making a joke about how people use big fake amps and cabinets.
Right.
And so he had those, and they have microphones on them and stuff. And then he had a bunch of rotisserie chickens in rotisseries, and they're actually chickens in there, and they're actually spinning.
No, that's fun.
And they have mics on the vents.
Not.
And it's ridiculous. Yeah.
I like that. If I showed up to a show and that was going
that's
on.
like the quirky nature of Rush, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun.
That was Rush. I thought you were saying that was Tool.
No, Rush. I'm sorry.
Makes more sense.
I was like, is
Makes
Tool
more
funny?
sense as Rush. I was like,
I didn't
why?
realize Tool was funny.
If it was Tool, you already know there'd be some like greasy Tool fans showing up their own local shows, trying to like put a washing machine on stage, like, oh, Adam Jones does it. Like, oh, shut up, Todd.
Yeah.
Like, get off the stage.
This bad way holds so many rotisserie chickens in it.
I've always wanted to do the thing where people like take an old washing machine and they take the governor off of it and they ramp it up super fast with the door off and they like throw a brick in it. Ever seen those videos?
Hey,
Or it's just like,
Yeah, it's
you know,
really awesome.
the basket of the dryer makes for like a really good fire pit.
Oh yeah, super good.
Yeah.
My neighbor had one of
Oh
those.
yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome. I didn't know that until like a year ago or something.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they make your yard look tacky, but they're incredible.
Yeah.
What if you buried it? What if you dug like a hole and put it in the ground?
Yeah, you could. I think part of the idea is that because it has all the holes in the side, like the ventilation is totally awesome.
You can carry it anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the sort of thing like if I had like a camping rig, like a truck and a trailer or something like that, I'd throw one in the bed and that'd be my, travel fire pit.
Yeah.
For sure.
No travel fire pit.
The part that spins the
Yeah.
dryer.
The drum.
It's a washer bin in a washer because it has the holes in the side.
Sorry, washer.
The water is hanging out. It's the washer bin, not the dryer bin.
Oh, sorry, washer. Yeah.
The drum.
The drum.
Yeah. Okay.
pretty cool.
Drum machine.
Somebody offered you a drum machine in the chat, Steve. Did you see that?
I saw that. I saw somebody
actually,
was saying that I'm talking about an Elise's. I actually was always looking at those like years ago.
Steve, if you're looking at drum stuff, Ableton, I use Ableton for stuff. Amazing. If you're looking for drum sounds, the stock stuff that they have is pretty good, but you should look into Get Good Drums. They have some pretty fantastic sounds. Just saying.
Huh.
Pretty fantastic sounds.
What's that called?
Get Good Drums.
SD Design just said, something tells me Ryan puts Sriracha on everything.
Do you?
Do you?
I put Sriracha on
But
You
I
put
put-
Frank's Red on everything?
That's a lot.
I have
That's
a
a lot of
whole-
sugar.
I have a whole selection of hot things that I put on things. Yeah, it's not just one hot thing. I have a lot of hot things that I put on things.
Do you have
There's
sugar?
a-
Oh, well, this is correct. He just said he put sriracha on hot dogs. That is 100% correct. 2 lines of sriracha and a line of mustard. That's how I do a hot dog.
Oh, you lost me a mustard.
I like a little mustard.
Mustard?
I
Mustard's
only like
great.
mustard on, specifically I like mustard on Burger King burgers, and that's the only way I can have mustard.
Interesting.
I just any other way I can't do it. My
Well,
wife loves mustard, and I yeah.
Do all y'all who like sriracha and everything know how much sugar you're eating in the sriracha?
Sugar and sriracha?
I eat organic sriracha, so yeah.
It's got organic sugar in it.
It's got organic. It has coconut milk in it.
If you're
So.
eating so much sriracha that you're worried about
Uh,
content, you're eating too much sriracha.
I mean, it's a lot.
You
Truly.
want to like undo it and just like
Yeah.
shots in the morning. Just
I put sriracha on my sriracha.
I
You have no
shouldn't
idea
do
how
this.
fast
There's
I
too
can
much
break
sugar
that.
in this.
Some
It's like
sugars.
pour a little wine and just like
Hold on, how much sriracha are you using? Because there's like 1 gram of sugar in it.
I'm glad Steve's right up here with like the fact checks. Just like, oh no.
Here's the thing.
Hold on, wait a second.
Here's the thing, guys.
Sriracha and pizza.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh yeah, my go-to
Sriracha and mac and cheese.
Tabasco on pizza.
That's good.
I really like Tabasco on pizza.
Or
But what I've
Cholula.
discovered recently is like
Maybe that
a
Cholula.
really good hot sauce on bratwurst, especially if it's like a day old and cold, like next day leftover bratwurst. Frank's. Put Frank's on bratwurst, and it just works for some reason. It's really good.
Have you seen the sriracha ketchup? It's like a 50-50 blend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got it thinking, I was like, this is going to be great. And I used it once and it was not great.
I'm just like, you can do that on your own. Just have both and you mix it in the ratio that you want.
I'm not as smart as you, okay?
Yeah.
I did already have ketchup and sriracha. I don't know what the hell I don't know. Man.
Or do you guys like spicy mustard, like the one they have in Chinese restaurants?
Oh yeah, I love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The sriracha ketchup just sounds kind of like sriracha for people who don't want that much heat.
Right.
It's not even that hot.
I'm learning to like heat. That's why I did it. Yeah.
No,
I'm new to spice.
It's the meme. It's like, Mom, can we get siracha? We have sriracha at home. That's the sriracha at home is mixed with ketchup.
I've done that like at home where I'm like, where I want ketchup, but I also want a little heat. Is like I'll just put a little bit of sriracha and ketchup and mix it all together.
Sriracha mayo.
There you go.
Too.
No, hot sauce mayonnaise is better. Hot sauce mayonnaise is the superior condiment, especially on the outside of a grilled cheese before you grill it. That little like for the bread.
This is going to cause people to unsubscribe right now. I don't like mayonnaise.
I
need to write that down. I need to try it.
You hate?
Wait,
that's
what?
fine.
I don't like mayonnaise.
You hate mayonnaise.
I don't use it.
What?
Okay, that's fine.
I'm unsubscribed.
Yeah, see, he just disappears from the chat. He's just over.
I'm out here. I gotta cancel my Patreon.
Patreon drop.
Yeah. Somehow Patreon is charging me, bro.
All of the viewers on Facebook are like, Ryan Burke doesn't like mayonnaise.
There's only one thing I use mayonnaise in, and it's my grandma's banana bread recipe.
She's supposed to.
How about for potato salad?
I don't eat potato salad.
Was that a joke?
No.
I'll make like a vinegar.
As white as you, not like potato salad.
No, I'm talking about the mayonnaise in the banana bread.
No, that's real. It's super
that
good.
look on your face right now, that just incredulous. You don't like mayonnaise?
I thought you were reacting to me not eating potato salad.
Like, that's very shocking.
No, I don't. Robot Master Switch just said Ryan is a Miracle Whip guy. No, I don't use any of that stuff.
Are you a Hellman's guy?
Hellman's?
No.
What do you think right? Is to make them not dry, like a little vinegar, or
to make what not
lime? Little lime in it.
A sandwich not dry. Like if you make a
sandwich is dry, it's fundamentally like poorly designed.
That's why I'm asking. What is making it not dry? Is what I'm trying to ask.
What sauce are you adding?
Soft cheese.
Any sauce? No sauce.
Just
like a little mustard.
I put mustard on a sandwich. Just put mustard on a sandwich. It's not dry.
Your sandwich doesn't need to be sopping wet with an oily grease concoction.
With oily
Ryan, I'm going to offer you this one tip, okay? Instead of mayonnaise, instead of Miracle Whip sandwich spreads of whatever else, get yourself the Greek yogurt that's been strained or whatever else it is, and use that as your base instead of the mayonnaise, the Miracle Whip, whatever.
I don't need to replace the thing that I'm not using already. I don't need that experience in the sandwich. The sandwiches are already pretty satisfying, and I don't need to have a white creamy substance in it.
All right, here's what needs to happen. Here's what needs to happen. The $57 tier
of
Patreon. the $57 tier, we buy a bottle of Heinz 57 mayonnaise and a bunch of Taco Bell and just put mayonnaise on all of it and make Ryan eat it.
Wait, there's Heinz 57 mayo?
Yeah, Heinz mayonnaise is one of the 57 Heinz products.
Heinz is
Where has that ever been? That's why I said
It made up. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a number
I
that
know
looks
they have a
good.
57 sauce.
Heinz 57 sauce is an individual sauce.
Oh,
but
I see Heinz mayo chup.
There was a urban rumor or whatever that 57 meant there was 57 varieties of tomato in the sauce. It's not true. It's just a number that Heinz thought looked cool. And he wanted,
so
it was like a marketing
It is a cool looking number.
It is a very. Oh, have you seen that number? God,
objectively, it is a spicy hot number.
But they ran with it for so many things that one of them is that their 1934 cookbook is a cookbook for 50 that uses 57 different Heinz products.
Oh no!
One of which is mayonnaise.
They probably had more than 57 products.
Did you all know that Heinz has not just a mayo ketchup but a mayo mustard?
Get the.
There's
That's a crime.
There's a mayo ranch.
Ranch?
It's called ranch.
What?
What is a cranch?
Then there's a mayo barbecue if you want to guess what
Ketchup
that
and
one's
ranch.
called.
Mayo people, you guys are disgusting.
Why? Ketchup and ranch? I'm physically hurt right now.
I was going to say either everybody's getting ready to cry or everybody's getting ready to rage.
Or we're getting
I'm getting diarrhea just by listening to these combinations.
Ketchup and ranch is like the sort of thing that someone bets you to eat in like your middle school cafeteria. They're like, oh, you won't do it. You know, you won't do it.
Mayonnaise and mustard? What would you ever put that on?
Hamburger is the only thing I could think of.
A
I
dare
mean, that's
sandwich.
like potato salad if you're so lazy.
At this point, I wouldn't
Get
be
out of here with
surprised
that.
if there was mayonnaise mixed with lemonade out there. Like people are drinking it.
Let's find out.
Mayonnaise with mayo.
Yep.
Do you remember
Okay.
Mayonnaise beer.
the Family Values tour? You remember the Family Values tour back in like
Yeah.
Corn?
2000s? Korn and Rammstein and Limp Bizkit and all those bands.
Yeah.
I remember on MTV, there were people outside. They couldn't get tickets. It sold out. And they challenged people to all these silly things to get tickets. If you really want to go see Korn, and one guy ate an entire bottle of Hellman's mayonnaise to get Korn tickets.
No.
Wow.
Okay, so what band
never
would
happened.
all of you
None
eat a jar of mayonnaise?
He's never
Like,
told
what band
anyone
would you?
that
Is there a
story.
band that you would eat a jar of mayonnaise for, Ryan, to get tickets?
No. There's
No?
no Britain on earth that I would
Not even
do.
Tool?
I need a
maybe.
Ryan meal for a tool.
Ryan, if Lucifer came to your house and he said, Lucifer / St. Peter, depending on what you think, or just some other kind of necromancer, said, if you eat this jar of mayonnaise, Dick Dale will come back to life and he will live forever. Would
Dick
you
Dale
eat a
was
jar of
in
mayonnaise?
Horrible pain in his last years. There'd have to be
And he won't be in pain.
like that
It'll
could be
be
a nightmare.
Dale
It's like some
Right.
monkey paw
It's
situation.
a
where
real
there's, like,
monkey paw
really-
situation. No, I'm not
I
gonna
live in your garage.
I'm not gonna make Faustian deals over a jar of mayonnaise. Like, this is a bad situation.
I would probably eat a jar of mayonnaise for the Mars Volta to get back together.
There are people who would eat a jar of
I would
mayonnaise
eat it for friends.
Mark Volta
Like,
sucks.
oh, please.
Thursday.
Oh, absolutely.
Shit, I might do it for like really good Elton John tickets.
I was listening to a podcast and John Hodgman was a guest on it.
Okay.
It was the Doughboys podcast.
Was it regular John Hodgman or the Judge John
It was
Hodgman?
regular John Hodgman. And he admitted, well, first he said, oh, yeah, I have trouble with late night snacking. Sometimes I grab a spoonful of peanut butter. That's a normal thing. I'll do that. Lots of people grab a spoonful of peanut butter. And then he said, well, I'll also grab a spoonful of mayonnaise.
Okay.
What?
And my stomach turned. And I was like, I thought I liked this person.
Peanut mayonnaise.
What about relish?
Haynes is
Somebody
watching right
I
now.
would-
About relish.
For sure, go for a spoonful of relish. That sounds fun. I love pickles, and it's sweet, like and sour. A little bit of crunch in there with relish.
I only put it on Costco hot dogs.
Yeah, I mean on a good hot dog. Yeah, I can't think of anything other than hot dogs I would put relish on.
Yeah.
Strictly for hot dogs.
Is there really?
Tuna
Yeah.
salad.
You don't put it in your tuna salad?
You know that thing you turn?
Tuna
Or
salad
is it the
usually is
onions?
mayonnaise based.
Ryan doesn't eat tuna salad. It requires mayonnaise.
That's what I'm
And it
wondering.
requires canned meat, which I don't.
Wow,
I don't-
that's real uppity of you. To
Hold on, guys.
Fresh.
You know we're
I'm
really
not-
covering my food issues.
we're really appalled at Ryan's mayonnaise thing here, even though mayonnaise aversion is actually pretty common, as is ranch aversion, sour cream aversion. These are all things that Ryan is averse to.
I know. I'm fine with ranch, and I know mayonnaise. is an ingredient.
Are you okay? Are you okay with ranch?
I am okay with ranch.
Okay, but I know sour cream is out.
I don't. Like it.
Mayonnaise is right out. But what we haven't talked about is Ryan's avocado aversion.
Okay. I don't have.
Oh,
I don't have
I
a
used to
strong
have that.
aversion to it. I just don't have. I don't love it. I don't care about it.
Whenever I go get a burrito for Ryan, he says no guacamole.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of guacamole is super like
Salty.
it's like mixed with sour cream or something. I get super cream based, and I don't want that. Like I'm fine with like a taco or a burrito if it's got slices of avocado in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
So you
But
don't like the avocado crema, is what you're saying.
yeah, it doesn't drive me wild. Like there's people who $10 to add on avocado, charge me double. That's how much I love it. Yeah, if avocado stopped existing, I wouldn't cry or anything like that. Like it's just I don't like those creamy stuff on things.
It's $1 billion industry.
I know.
You wouldn't
I've got a
cry?
tree in your
How
backyard.
many people would go broke?
I'm not talking about like if it was just
God,
in
you're
history and it
heartless.
was
So many warlords would have to go back to cocaine.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
So many CEOs that have to exploit other people. Jeez.
I like that. Here's the thing. I like that other people like avocado. I think it's a good food to eat. I wish I could enjoy something as much as people who love avocado love avocado.
Have you seen the videos on like that are going around the internet right now of people cutting realistic looking objects that are cakes?
Oh, no.
yeah.
Like, it looks like they're cutting into a hand. I want to get you an avocado cake and a mayonnaise bottle cake and all these potato salad cake.
Jokes on Ryan though.
Yeah. I'm not eating that.
Are made with
Just
mayo.
just try it.
Yeah,
Okay,
all
I
the
got a
cakes are
question.
Made with mayo though. So
I got a question. If mayonnaise is made without egg, is it still mayonnaise?
If it's
no
not-
idea.
there's like
What's
Clear
the
the look and
recipe?
flavor, then that's the function of it. Then yeah.
Because if I recall correctly, the egg is like the little thing that holds the whole
Yeah. The protein.
congealed thing together or whatever. But is there such a thing as I don't know if it's vegetarian or vegan,
Oh, yeah, no,
but
there
would there be
is.
such
Yeah,
a thing
no,
as
there's
there's vegan there.
called veganese.
Vegan is, It tastes really bad.
Yeah,
it
looks really-
sounds like it would taste really bad.
It tastes
Yeah.
really bad, but at least your sandwich isn't dry, which your sandwich would never be dry anyway. So what are you doing?
Apparently, it
I
legally
guess that's
cannot
why
be
they
called
invented dip
mayonnaise.
for sandwiches.
It can be called. I think it can be called mayo,
But
but
not
it can't be
legally
called mayonnaise.
Oh, you mean
The-
mayo?
Yeah, mayo. The U.S. government regulates the definition of mayonnaise. Good job, guys.
Well, there's reasons why. It's like you can't call it ice cream if it's not a certain percent.
Listen,
That's true. That's
if
true.
someone's gonna be just scooping slabs
You can't
of
say
some sort of white cream onto people's food, I want the government to regulate it.
we regulate food more than most things. It seems.
Like of all things to be regulated, that substance that people are applying liberally to all foods for some reason should be regulated.
I mean, people got to know what they're buying from the label.
Mm-hmm.
In Russia, more mayonnaise is sold than ketchup.
Well, Americans are the only people who eat ketchup.
And also,
Well,
really?
apparently, all in the rest of you, that Russia is the only market in Europe where more mayonnaise is sold than ketchup.
Then they must not be having Because they put butter on their sandwiches.
I love Russia.
We had a Russian exchange student at our school who was the first person I ever saw do this. She just covered her French fries in mayonnaise. And I thought that looked so weird. But about a decade later, I tried it, and now I put mayonnaise. I don't put it on my fries, but I'll dip them in it.
Yeah. Especially
I know to make you throw up.
Covering it like that seems a little much.
I did that
throw up on your head, Grant.
Belgium.
I had a student from Russia, and when I had the parent-teacher conference night came up, her dad walked in, and I swear he was like 8 something, and he just like it was almost like he had to like kind of turn to come through the door, and like his hand was the size of my torso, and I'm just like, hi, hello. I'd like to talk about your daughter's grades. And he's like, yes. Oh, so
Big guy.
Man, he smelled like mayonnaise.
just drenched. The pockets were overflowing with mayonnaise.
Okay, two quick questions. One, what is everybody's thought on ranch dressing on pizza?
Get that out of my face.
Ranch?
Get that out of my face.
There are people who swear by ranch on pizza, and I think that's just disgusting.
I love it.
My wife has dabbled in the ranch with pizza, but it's more like she'll dip the crust in it, sort of thing. Like,
yeah, just a little bit. Not
Okay.
Chicken pizza.
isn't that something that your wife does, Steve? Isn't she a ranch on pizza girl?
No, my wife hates ranch.
Have you ever had
My wife hates ranch. She hates sour cream. She hates.
Why do you have to get so crazy that I don't like sour cream? If your own wife doesn't like sour cream.
a fried egg on pepperoni pizza?
Fried egg on any.
Yeah, over easy. Fried egg on a pepperoni pizza. Have you ever had that? It's freaking amazing.
That's
I
interesting.
think someone was telling me that maple syrup on pizza is a thing now.
I know
not
honey.
No.
Honey, is it?
Honey.
I have not had
On the crust,
anything on a pizza that I will not eat.
We do maple syrup and grilled cheese sandwiches
I have a.
Well, that makes sense, though.
with like cheddar cheese and maple syrup. It's delicious.
I'm a big fan of maple syrup,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
think I should make a grilled cheese when we're done with this. I'm hungry.
even more now that I've got the whole.
on the outside instead of butter. It'll be even better. Steve.
I don't have mayonnaise. There again, my wife doesn't eat mayonnaise, so I just don't have mayonnaise in the house.
My husband doesn't eat mayonnaise, and I have mayonnaise in the house.
Well, I don't eat sandwiches enough to justify owning mayonnaise.
I literally just have the mayonnaise to put on the grilled cheese sandwiches when I make them.
You should make that a quote on a shirt. No one will understand what the hell it's about, but I just want that shirt. I don't eat sandwiches enough to justify owning mayonnaise.
Go to my Teespring store and get
My man
Drop
shirt.
Pretful.com right now.
Okay. I'm
Apple
just
pie with sharp cheddar.
I don't eat sandwiches enough to justify owning mayonnaise. On a shirt, I would bust up laughing a little bit. If
I bought 2 packs of lunch meat like a couple months ago, and it was probably the first time that I had purchased lunch meat in years.
Okay.
Because I don't make sandwiches.
cool story, bro.
Like,
Oh my god!
Because they just left us hanging there, and I'm like, okay, and
you eat the deli meat at midnight over the sink in the kitchen.
I do that too.
Exclusive.
I did that too.
Exclusive. That's the only way.
Yeah.
What was
I
this?
remember
Ramsey just like
What?
eat the sandwich
I don't
components.
make sandwiches enough.
Just to justify owning mayonnaise? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
That's fun. Are you
I
gonna
don't
make?
know.
Sandwiches enough to justify owning mayonnaise. And the way you said it was perfect. It was just like
so
it was like
earnest.
just beautiful. I loved it.
It was just very serious. It's a very
it
serious
was
topic.
wonderful. It was a moment for me.
We'll go back and watch the replay and write it down.
I'm gonna screen capture and watch it every night before I go to bed.
Ryan's looking for a
My
piece of
ringtone.
paper so he can sketch the freaking logo for this thing.
No, it's just going to be in Cooper Sands. It's gonna be too long to cut. Well, time's running. So matter of fact, like, listen, guys, here's the situation. A picture of Steve, like.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
It'll be your top selling shirt.
Be the weirdest inside joke on this channel ever.
If it does well, I just want a bottle of mayonnaise.
Why does this shirt exist? Oh, because Steve said something one time, like 2.5 hours into a live podcast.
That's a shame flute.
That's like I saw this video the other day that was like how to make money on the internet, and it was literally like
mayo.
It was like it was like
step one.
It was literally like go find a meme, go find 5 memes that you like, take those phrases, go put them like in, pick a font, make that font in like MS Paint, submit that to like Redbubble and all these different shirt sites, and then don't do anything. Like just wait for other people to search for it, and then they'll buy your shirt design. It's like how to be a graphic designer without doing any work.
Well, there are literally bots that look for people tweeting. There are literally bots
that sounds like it works.
People who tweeted a tweet and that says someone should make this a shirt or make this a shirt. They automatically make that tweet a shirt and reply back to the person who wanted it to be a shirt.
Yeah.
Well, there's people out there who are just constantly like aggregating these shirt designs, and they're just flooding the internet with them. I was running a group for. I mean, I'm still running it, but it doesn't have very many people in it anymore because I intentionally crashed it. I was running this group that would change names like on the fly, like every other week or something like that. And for some reason, we were getting spammed by all these shirt people all the time, and we would have a lot of fun with them. This is a Facebook group, by the way. And one of them was in there like, hey, it was a Father's Day group at the time. I'd make a group about not forgetting about Father's Day.
Oh yeah.
And this guy joined the group and was like, hey, I've made all these Father's Day shirts if any of you guys are interested. And one of the shirts was just this long broken English rant. And I was like, actually, if you change it to say this instead, then I'll buy it. And then he did it in like 2 minutes. I was like, well, now I've got to buy it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it literally says, don't forget, because he was aggregating it off of stuff that was on the site. It said, don't forget that Father's Day is a holiday that actually exists. I bought this shirt, and I own this shirt, and every Father's Day I forget to wear it.
Oh, that's perfect.
3 days after.
Don't forget
perfect.
literally what the shirt says.
You should wear the shirt throughout the year.
Yeah, I really.
Yeah.
But it's printed
on
on
public service to everyone, like, hello.
Start wearing it the day after Mother's Day. Wear it every day.
on the worst fabric ever. It's the worst shirt ever, printed with the worst ink. And like the shirts that I get made through Teespring, which are cheaper, by the way, are way better. So it's like I end up paying like $35 for this dumb shirt for a joke. Because they ream you on shipping. Is this whole scam? This whole shirt thing is a big scam, but that's people are making money doing it. I mean, if you can convince one a-hole,
I really like my Stay Grounded shirt. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, you got one of the Teespring ones? Oh, of course you did.
The green one.
Yeah, I really like that fabric. I really like the cut. I think they did an okay job printing mine. So yeah.
So when are we getting the 60 Cycle Hum coffee mugs, and when are we getting the 60 Cycle Hum editing Ryan shirts?
I need to make a custom video Ryan shirt for me that just says Video Ryan, and then there'll be Video Ryan in the video, and editing Ryan will pop up. I don't know if editing Ryan will end up on a shirt. Like that seems too meta.
Make a fun, like
if you really want coffee mugs, I can probably go turn that on tomorrow morning.
I didn't realize Teespring had mugs, but they do.
They do.
Yeah.
They had stickers, and I had the stickers turned on for a bit, but every time I looked at them, I was like, these are too expensive. Like,
They are.
What happened to the belt packs, the fanny packs?
Yeah, I need to look up that. I think that might have been a notification from Threadless, which was our old shirt.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Mugs are turned on.
Oh, are they? So they are there.
They're $15, and stickers are $5. Good grief!
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
They're too expensive.
Surfy
I need another stimulus.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
The shame. The shame.
You gotta do it. You gotta commit.
I've waited
Probably
probably 2 hours to find something to come on for, and
If you're gonna do it, you gotta commit to the bit.
you're sitting there already eating it, and you're like, "Well,
we're talking about my stuff." Yeah, no, I'm about to vomit.
Put it on some pizza.
No, actually, I figured somebody has to represent the ranch on pepperoni pizza brigade. I totally dig it. So,
Nice.
hi, hey, everybody. Hopefully, that was a worthwhile entrance. Humor is my.
It was perfect.
That was perfect. Perfect.
That was a perfect entrance.
I mean, it's
And I'm gonna have my exit.
2:11 in the morning, and you guys are making me really hungry. So,
Uh-oh.
oh, we lost Emily.
I'll be back in
Emily.
a second.
She said goodbye.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Steve,
I'll be back.
I don't know if you remember this,
Sorry.
but a few weeks ago when we were talking, you had mentioned that I should send you a mug, and
Okay.
you were drinking a mug. I think you were drinking some other mug, and I don't know. It came up.
Oh yeah, this one.
And yeah, and you said I should make mugs, and so we actually, because of you saying that, made a mug design just the other day, and I haven't ordered them yet, but so you will be getting a special mug that was inspired by you. So
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Uh-oh.
and Ryan
yeah.
should be getting a box of crap from me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is this the sitting in the back of the pickup truck with
Here we go. Is that a High Life or is that a Modelo? That's a Modelo.
be right back.
Oh,
The thing about me that I knew exactly what beer that was just from the foil on the top. Like, oh, that's a Modelo.
It's a huge Modelo.
Yeah, that's what I can't tell. Is it actually? It is actually huge.
Yeah.
Or that is just very cool.
It's
At the
you can get these in
at the
Mexico.
$160 Patreon level, Ryan and I will play a game of Edward 40 Hands.
Oh,
Why
if
one's-
you can
I get it.
recognize the beer by the foil on the top of the bottle, you might be an alcoholic.
I'm a connoisseur of fine cervezas.
Modelo is the finest cerveza.
The Surfy Sonic is washing down the mayonnaise.
Oh my God! I used to like mayonnaise. Now not so much. It's really gross, especially at 2:13 in the morning.
cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here's what we're gonna do, Grant. I'm gonna make it out to Nashville for a road case at some point, and you're gonna take me down the 420 road. I'm gonna make you a big pan of my grandma's banana bread with mayonnaise in it. We're gonna have a good old time.
I'm into it.
Walk on
I'll
it.
eat your weird mayonnaise banana bread.
It's not weird.
I'm sorry, that was rude.
Song.
Steve has had it. Is the banana bread good?
I don't think I knew there was mayonnaise in it, but I'm.
No,
Not anymore.
Yeah, sure, it's good.
It's not like it's got a layer of mayonnaise in it. It's
I don't
Like
think I've
mixed
had
in,
anything
like-
that you have prepared
Actually,
that I was
I-
like, this is bad.
I iced the banana bread with mayonnaise. It's got like a half-inch layer of mayonnaise.
I don't make banana bread enough to justify owning mayonnaise.
Very
That makes
different
sense.
banana bread. It's not like normal banana breads. It's a very different sort of situation.
Well, that's how you keep your sandwich. I mean, your banana bread moist.
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna film the whole thing, and that's like an episode of the Roadcast. It'll be you and me going down Highway 420 and then making banana bread. with a lot of mayonnaise.
And put a couple of slices of honey ham in between them.
It's not really a sandwich bread, but it could work.
Yeah. Bring it and put some sriracha on top.
There it is.
Yeah.
Now we're coming full circle.
I will probably still have my entire bottle of sriracha ketchup by then, so we can use that.
About this. Like, what would you put in a banana bread sandwich?
Just all your normal stuff.
Do you know the Mitch Hedberg joke?
No.
It's a banana bread pastrami cottage cheese sandwich.
Oh.
What?
You had me until cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese is another thing I won't eat.
I'll find the joke and I'll send it to you.
I don't blame
because
you.
I'm not going to do it justice, but that is
just revolting to look at. I'm sure it tastes fine, but I don't like it. But I will eat cheese curds, but I won't eat cottage cheese.
Poutine.
Elvis did peanut butter and mayonnaise and banana sandwiches or something.
And then right on the toilet.
Sandwiches, peanut butter. Yeah. I do peanut butter and cheese. I was telling Ryan about it.
Yeah. You were telling me about peanut butter and cheese.
Like American cheese?
I'll do American, like a Kraft single slice with peanut butter in a sandwich, or cheddar cheese and peanut butter.
Peanut butter goes good with spicy. So I was imagining like a nice slice of like pepper jack with peanut butter.
Ooh.
Good.
I guess, or maybe something Thai based.
Yeah. Someone turned me on to peanut butter and pepperoni sandwiches years back, and every now and then I'll have one. Peanut butter works.
Butter and
I'm down with that.
Pepperoni, you say?
People put it on hamburgers.
Oh, I love peanut butter on hamburgers, but peanut butter works really well with savory flavors and sweet flavors
and strawberry and jelly
and spicy flavors. Peanut butter just works with everything.
Peanut butter's just good.
It's just good.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you remember Meet Joe Black? He just eats peanut butter all the time.
But that's me. I love peanut butter. I will not stop eating peanut butter for the rest of my life. Every day.
You know, it has mayo in it? No, I'm kidding.
That'll be the next thing.
Peanut mayo.
Heinz mayo peanut butter.
Oh, gross.
No, it'd probably be named like mayo butter, and it's
mayo peonaise.
Wait, is mayo just like egg butter?
Yeah, kind of.
Egg butter sounds.
In Europe, they'll do Nutella mayo, and the hipsters here will claim it's so much better than peanut butter mayo.
Oh no! Don't put that sort of hex on this world. We already have enough going on.
Oh, you're eating peanut butter mayo? Yeah, I like Nutella mayo.
I just saw in the chat the Martha Stewart Sunnyside egg pizza pesto.
I didn't see that one.
Is outrageous. I don't know if anyone.
Oh, is it in the private chat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Oh yeah, the I put that up there. The egg on the pizza.
Yeah.
Oh man, that looks that seems okay. I'm down with that.
I love Martha
Stewart. Try it. You should try a fried egg on top of a pizza.
I'm down with that. That's fine.
I mean, I know Sassy Cat says no.
I'm a little bit picky about eggs. Here's my thing about fried eggs. I don't like really the flavor of the white by itself or the yolk by itself. I'm like a strictly scrambled boy, but I'll eat them if it's all this available. I'll eat. I'm not turned off by it. It's not what I prefer. You know,
it's part of the experience is when the yolk breaks and while you're biting into it.
Yeah.
So what do you cook your fried eggs in, Ryan? Just out of curiosity.
Butter,
mayonnaise,
an avocado,
peanut butter.
Right.
I don't eat
sriracha.
If I cook eggs and I'm just lightly greasing the pan, or if I've made bacon, I'll do a little bacon grease or something like that. Is that what you're
like? Well, I was gonna say fried eggs are best in bacon grease, but I wasn't aware if it was butter 100%. Or if it was Pam or
I've had it. I've tried it a bunch of different ways. It's just not my thing. So like I said, I'm not turned off by it. It's just not how I prefer.
No, but even your scrambled eggs, do you do them in? Do you use oil?
if we're scrambled, I'll use a little bit of Pam or butter or bacon grease if it's available. Just whatever to keep it from sticking. Ooh, what I've been doing, I got chorizo. I've been working through chorizo. So I'll throw some chorizo in the pan, and that's got plenty of oil in it to keep the eggs
Oh yeah.
Even the soy rizo is good.
Yeah,
soy rizo. Yeah.
The soy rizo?
What? Soy rizo?
Yeah, it's good.
Try.
As long as it's not seasoning, how would you even tell the difference? Honestly, I don't. I'm not a soy guy.
The Trader Joe's. Are we talking about the Trader Joe's?
Yeah, you can use that one.
Rizo?
Yeah, you can use that one.
That one is I purchased it once and I did not spread it out enough. That is some intense stuff.
Yeah, it's very spicy.
Yeah. It's good.
Did I send you guys hot sauce, by the way?
Yes. I got some, yeah. Did you get some, Ryan?
I don't remember. I think you did. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, you got some because Grant, you sent a big box of a bunch of stuff to Ryan.
What did it look like?
For Christmas. It was a Christmas
It was
thing.
the roast of the woodcutter?
Yeah.
Yes. I think you used it all.
Right on. Well, yeah, we just ordered another, I think, 100 bottles. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Grant, I just want to say that woodcutter, I know I mentioned it before in the comments and stuff. It's my favorite pedal, man.
Awesome.
I really love it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I feel like, have you tagged me in Instagram posts? Because I know your name.
Maybe. Oh yeah, once. Yeah,
once
when you did the like some giveaway, like that you would post, like use the Big Ear NYC.
Oh, the gift thing.
Stories. Yeah, the gift.
Yeah.
Stories. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. One dude that did that and like tagged me like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And I had to take a screenshot of every one because I said that's how I would do it. And I said, as many entries as you want. And this one kid was like, well, as many as I want. Let's do this. Kind of shot myself in the foot or whatever. But
well, guys, we've been doing this almost 3 hours. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Plato just started his 40.
It's like a 60.
It's a fifth.
60.
Yeah, it's
like Modelo.
That's actually it's 1 liter. It's an entire liter of beer.
Jeez. What is that? Like the 16th keg?
How much is a liter in ounces?
Weird question. I don't drink anymore, so I can't do this. But I just wonder if you guys have ever done the orange juice 40 thing, where you drink a 40 down to the label and then fill it up the rest of it with orange juice.
That sounds like a long day on the toilet.
Yeah.
I know it sounds disgusting. I know it sounds. You could even with like malt liquor that's horrible.
No,
the orange juice makes it bearable.
I'm not into flavors at all. I went on vacation in Costa Rica with my wife and my brother and my sister, and we invented a thing there that we called beer mosas, and it was just cerveza mixed with whatever tropical juice we could find, and it just like. I think it permitted us. It gave us permission to do a lot of day drinking because it was cut. It wasn't just like hard drinking all day. And there's beer in it, but I really liked the flavor of it. I thought it worked pretty good. So, yeah, beer plus juice, I think is fine.
Sounds like that orange Shock Top.
Yeah, it's a lot like Shock Top.
Yeah,
beer plus juice.
There's definitely a thing in New York and Pennsylvania where I'm from. That's a thing we did. So
okay,
not just my weird peanut butter cheese thing, but it's actually other people do it too.
Right. Yeah. Surfy Sonic, next time you come on, will you be like eating a big old spoonful of Crisco or something into
it depends on what the comedy calls for. You know?
We just gotta set you up. We just
take it on the edibles.
I know I mentioned it in the chat today, but I was so disappointed. From what you're when you demoed the Sublime Tomcat Deluxe.
Oh,
so I was like, well, I'm a little worried about the patch cord falling out like it was on yours, but I figured I'll go for it, give a new brand a chance. And I just got a note from the brick and mortar store I bought it from on Reverb that Sublime packed it like really badly, and so it was the guitar was damaged. So they just issued me a refund. Okay, well now I'm not going to get one.
You can
stick with my Gretchen Fenders.
If you want to try again, hit up Pitbull Audio. They'll take care of you.
Those are super solid.
You know. You know how, as fellow guitar addicts, you know how you get that impulse buy thing. It's kind of calmed down now. I did watch a lot of the videos, demos, and it looks like a great guitar, but I've got way more than my wife really wants me to have, so it's better I just enjoy that refund.
To be honest, though, those are, I'm pretty sure they have like Porter pickups or like Porter design pickups.
Yes, yeah.
They're a local brand to me. They're like based, I think, out of like either Lakeland or like close to Tampa, Florida. And they're associated with Blackbird boards.
They really sound good.
Who run it? Yeah, really, really great people who run it. I remember when they first launched the brand, whatever their like Telly style, like the Jayhawk, I think it's called, is a phenomenal guitar. The guitar shop that I worked at carried like an early run. They had that, and like the first run of the Chieftains are really cool too. They're solid guitars for the money.
Yeah, they sound great.
I thought it was a really great build. It just wasn't fully my style. So.
The patch cable kept, or the
they did.
It had the deep cut.
I know, right angle.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
They had 4 pedals. They had.
They were really attractive.
They were very.
Yeah, look, they were awesome.
They were sleek. They were real nice.
I have the delay that they had as like the pip delay, I think.
And they were fairly inexpensive too.
Yeah, I had that in my Reverb watch list for forever. I probably should grab one because they're cheap. They're like $75 and they sound awesome.
Ryan, before I forget, I'm doing a Telly build, and I just again based on one of your sponsors, I bought a Gun Street Telly
harness.
Harness. Thank you. Yes, it's 2:30 a.m. here. I'm a little squirrely, but yeah. So I'm getting that. Putting that together. Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually,
they were super cool. I chatted with them one.
Yeah, Sean's awesome. I'm glad to hear that sponsorship's working.
Yeah. Speaking of, this oh gosh, this bad boy's got a Gun Street kit in it.
Nice.
Wow.
He was definitely the nicest dude I met at NAMM. Out of everybody that I met,
so helpful too.
Yeah. The takeaway was that I was like, I really liked that guy from Gun Street Wiring.
He's so helpful.
Just I talked to him and felt like I knew him. You know what I mean? Like he just.
Yeah, I got the volume bleed 3-way CTS wiring stuff. So.
Fun.
Yeah.
Every time I've gotten something from him, even though it's like, technically with me, it's, it's an arrangement for, marketing and whatnot for him to send it to me. I'm not technically a customer, but it's still like, I get it. And you know how guitars are, there's questions every time, like not everything's the same. Like there's no like hard, like every guitar is the same in this way sort of deal. So I'll start installing stuff and I'll start messaging him, and he's really quick to respond. Super helpful. I send him pictures and he starts making new diagrams and stuff for me. Like the service there is really incredible. And he's really always enthusiastic to help and to talk about ideas too. Like I'll text him and be like, I got this guitar. What's a crazy thing we could do? And he'll just spitball. He's making a thing for the Supersonic right now that I told him like 2 things I wanted, and I told him like whatever else you can cram in there, you show off, like do whatever you want, and it's gonna have some fun stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
Ryan,
where's the pickup?
What was that, Grant?
Where at what stage is the pickup changing guitar now? The Epiphone.
Oh my gosh, I haven't even thought about it. It's in a bag.
Oh yeah.
DOA.
No. I need to make that happen at some point. It's one of those things where it's like when I think about a project that's going to take me more than a couple hours to film, I'm like
that's why I do all my soldering and all this stuff offline, and then when I actually have something done successfully, I'll put it up on my videos.
Yeah.
So.
What do you got there, Beto?
That's cool looking.
Nice.
That color is wild.
Oh wow.
TV yellow, isn't it?
TV yellow.
It almost looks.
Are you a lefty? That's not reversed. You're just a lefty.
Huh?
Beto, you're a lefty, right?
I'm left. No, I'm left-handed. Yeah.
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 Nice.
At first, I thought your video is reversed, but then the logo is frontways. So
No, the Modelo.
Oh yeah, the Modelo.
label is,
It looks like a light olive green to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of want a light olive green guitar now.
Like the kind Reverend
no,
made.
that's the lighting from.
It's like
Re-Ranch?
overcooked hard-boiled egg yolk color.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it doesn't look yellow.
Yeah.
Re-Ranch has a really nice
Like mustard.
olive
Oh, there it is.
spray. That's nice.
Yeah, those are nice.
Nice.
I hear the Squire. I'm sorry, not Squire. The Epiphone specials are pretty decent, almost comparable to the new Gibson specials.
Yeah, they all are.
Yeah.
But a lot cheaper. So that's
Yeah, it's much better. I'm just, filthy rich. I'm
Hey,
like
there you
super
go,
rich
man.
Steve.
I've got a few.
Super rich
I
Steve.
got a few vintage and Greshes and stuff. So, but I'd go with the whole spectrum.
Yeah,
I was going
I
to
wish
say,
I could buy
Trogley
'em.
reviewed those and said that they were undervalued. And I'm like, shut up. I don't need the price going up on this.
Undervalued? the Epiphones?
Yeah, the DC Juniors.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm like, no, that's a perfect price point. Stop it. Quit trying to jump the price up to $700. Quit giving
them ideas.
Quit giving them ideas. Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of wish Gibson would shift to doing the Fender model where Fender has Mexican Fenders. I wish Gibson would do like Mexican.
Yeah. They could.
And open up a mid-tier price point, like something to fill out that space between Epiphone and Gibson.
I mean, that's basic. I mean, it's a little more, but that's kind of the specials.
Yeah.
Kind of. But I'm talking about
Like
something.
they're made in Asia, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like
yeah,
we're
the
talking about the-
M2s or whatever.
I feel like Gibson.
I really like the tribute series from GNL. Like, I think those are like super high
Oh, yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
Those are phenomenal.
Yeah, those GNLs, it's the same pickups, it's the same hardware, it's a really high quality feel. It's just made somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks because I have both now. Yeah, I had to buy all of them, but stupid.
All right, guys, I gotta call it quits. I'm tired. You guys, some of you are up way too late for.
Yeah.
I don't sleep, so
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere tomorrow, so
I gotta finish
Yeah.
this.
this has been the highlight of my day, hanging out.
we gotta finish up my down there. To everyone who's stuck around watching all this, what's wrong with you? First of all, for more rugby, like, subscribe, and follow.
SD Design asks how many do I have? Let's say over 30 and less than 40.
That's about where I am right now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh,
But I've
5.
been doing this for a number of years. So, but yeah,
All
good times. I'll show them all on my channel at some point. So.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's got
Hey, thanks. I gotta go gargle. So
Gargle for mayonnaise.
With mayonnaise.
Gargle some,
Ooh.